Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. A massive game for the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight up in Detroit against the Red Wings. The CBJ and the Wings are tied with 88 points, 2 points out of a playoff spot. As promised, Rick Bowness with a massive shakeup to the lines this evening as they try to snap that 6-game losing streak. Pre-game coverage on the Fan begins at 6:30. Puck drop is at 7. The Cleveland Guardians game with the Kansas City Royals has been moved up to 1:10 this afternoon due to expected cold temperatures tonight in Cleveland. Gavin Williams gets the ball opposite Noah Cameron. The Cincinnati Reds in Miami to face the Marlins at 6:40. Andrew Abbott makes his third start of the season. Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. Coverage on the Fan's HD3 begins at 6:10. Over on the Fan 2 at 5:55, the Ohio State baseball team taking on Bowling Green. This one's sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for metal. Visit Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com or 2180 Wilson Road for all your metal needs.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Rando Tuesday style. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the man behind the glass is TLC. Boys, good to see you.
What up, what up? It is good to see you as well, man. How you feeling today? All good?
I got off to a rough week.
Wait, talk to me. What's going on?
No, I just, a little tired already.
Oh.
I'm already tired. It's only Tuesday.
So nothing really negative has happened,
no,
so to speak.
The
You're
game
just
tipped
tired.
off at 8:50-ish, so even earlier than in years past what I remember. Maybe they slid it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember that thing tipping off years ago at 9:20 or something. And then, back in the day, the one shining moment, and my brother sent it to me today because the very first one shining moment was actually Indiana's 1987 championship when they beat Syracuse. And that was the very first one shining moment. And I watched it this morning, and, it was the original song, the very first one, and it was very good, brought back a lot of memories. And so last night I'm watching the game, and they're doing about 8 different post games with commercials. And then Ernie Johnson is up there interviewing anybody that he can find. And he was interviewing Lendenborg, and he asked him, I think he said, I imagine nothing was going to keep you from playing in this game tonight. And I'm thinking, he came back to play in the Final Four game. It's not like he left the semis, and then we were wondering. He played. He came back. And then there's another commercial, and then they're doing even more. And now it's 11:50-ish.
Okay.
And now I'm waiting on one shining moment. And they hit commercial, and you know what I said? Screw it. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll DVR it, or maybe I'll catch it online somewhere. But they've now officially iced me out.
Okay.
I used to stay up. It's very nostalgic for me. I love the song. I love the music. There's still some amateur feel to it. And I forget for a while that it's not all about the money.
That you're watching pros?
Yeah, and that, what's Lendenberg making for Michigan? $2 million this year? All right, so that's great, and we'll talk about it. Every one of their starters was a transfer. This is the era they found a way to do it. They've got the money to do it, and they've got the coach that is the straw that stirs the drink because he's still got to create the chemistry and the coaching and get him to the finish line, and he did. But I checked out. It's one of the first years I didn't see it all the way through because back in the day, they used to do one big commercial. I think they cut the nets. I can't remember whether they cut the nets down before or after One Shining Moment, decades ago. And then they used to play, Maddie, this real, sappy version that I really liked, like an instrumental when they were cutting down the nets. There was almost like a sad ending.
Hit you in the feels right
yeah,
in the heart
it really
right
did.
there?
It was
Okay.
different than One Shining Moment. One Shining Moment's kind of invigorating, but they used to play a sappy instrumental. TLC's a finder of things, but this would be something like maybe way back, late 80s, early 90s, where the ladder, and then they'd have the credits. They'd have the credits roll to this great instrumental. And it used to be oh, wow, sports, so great. And now I'm going to bed before One Shining Moment. They finally got me.
So
they commercialized me out.
So you're a little tired right now is what you're saying.
Yada, yada, yada.
Here's what I think
today
may be an important question at the presser. Did you go to bed immediately after skipping one shining moment, or did you hop in bed and put on a movie? And were you up?
No.
Okay.
There were no movies. I'll give you a peek behind the curtain a little bit. I'm kind of back in online poker.
Okay. So what time did you shut everything down then, officially?
I mean, it was in the midnight hour somewhere. I just can't remember. It didn't go past 1 a.m.
Okay.
It didn't.
So instead of doom scrolling like TLC, you'll play online poker or watch, YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Very big YouTube guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scroll it up. My algorithm is spitting out either
What is in your algorithm right now?
golf lessons online, whatever rando's trying to help me shallow the club or this or whatever.
Yeah.
And then a lot of body cam. A lot of body cam stuff, retail theft, things like that. People getting caught, and that kind of stuff.
I think maybe in the next life, you're going to come back as some type of enforcer in law enforcement. There's something there for you that I think you like.
Why in the next life?
Well,
why can't I just go into what is that, loss retention, or what do they call the loss prevention? Maybe when I retire, I just find some retail store that'll get me in front of my command center, and I'll have, there's a joystick, and you can zoom in on people shopping. Maybe that's it for me.
You already police our parking lot, so you're doing a good job with that.
That's erroneous.
Now,
I never started that.
Dom says you're only a dog policeman, so you don't count.
I never started. You know this better than anybody. He started that and made it. He acted like he wasn't the one. That's his gift.
Yeah, he's putting you and Michael Barons on the WrestleMania card.
That's his gift.
That's what he's trying to do.
He's the Dom King of the station here, because all he wants to do is promote other bouts that he has interest in fighting, but he won't get in the ring.
Oh, now that's a tremendous reference. There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, and then he sets it up to where I didn't know if you and Barron started like a fake beef and then he made it real or what that was, but
no,
I know that he definitely poured a gallon of gasoline on that fire.
Yeah, he's afraid though to go up to certain people that violate. I've noticed.
Oh, who is that?
I'm just not
Name names.
Nope.
Yolanda Harris.
No, I'm not going to name anybody. I'm just saying
common man.
He's in that. He's in some other areas of if somebody else is going inching over the no parking sign. We got guys that park under the caution tape. I don't think nothing said to them.
That's Tim May.
Oh, that's Tim May.
That's Tim May. That's Tim May. That's a Tim May special.
But anyway, I watched it, and
credit, though.
The last 4 games, Michigan held their opponents.
You got to give me credit.
To their lowest season field goal percentage.
I like how we jump on things.
Bama, 36%. Tennessee, 32%. Arizona, 37%. UConn, 31%.
Julian saying, James People, C.J. Donaldson,
ruining my
Bo
entire...
Jackson, Kenyatta Jackson.
This is
the ghost of Tim May.
My goodness. I
love that you brought that up.
There's just and
they're
they got
a force,
pushed.
man.
Yeah.
They're just a force. And I'm glad you started with the defense because there's been so much made of how good they've been offensively and how offensively potent they can be in any given game and have been all year long. I mean, the game last night was very clunky. For me, it wasn't the most enjoyable watch. I mean, you're talking the teams combined to shoot 34% from the field. I mean, it's tied for the second lowest in any national championship game. But you just zoom out and look at this body of work for Michigan this year, and it's eye-opening. It really is eye-opening. And the transfer portal additions, right? We can talk about the money that they had to spend, and that is real. That's absolutely real. There's no denying it, but it's the identifying of the talent, too, and nailing those guys as well, because we've seen at certain programs, whether it's football, basketball, you can have the money and you swing and miss. They didn't swing and miss at all. When you look at their starting 5 and the guys that have been out there night in and night out for them, they were all home runs, all of them. And so that, to me, is what's really, really impressive outside of what they were putting out there on the floor was their ability to identify the talent and just crush it in that way.
So this is a little bit of an outlier, not in that they weren't great, because they were. But what this tournament has turned into for a lot of teams is the team that hits the most threes is the team to be really worried about, dangerous. And last night, Michigan was up 4 at half, and they were 0 for 8 on threes. So they were getting everything inside, and they were playing good enough defense. UConn kept themselves in the game because they were physical. and they hit some threes. So they offset that with physicality and hitting some outside shots, and they kept themselves in the game. And Dan Hurley's really good at working the refs, and he was trying, and it wasn't working because it was one of those things that he did a interview with Tracy Wolfson, I think early in the game when they were leading. I think UConn was up 18-17. And Michigan started out pretty strong, and they were down because they were missing everything they were putting up from the outside. And she asked him, he's like, we're dragging them into the only way we can win this game. Like, he said this to her during the game. Like, he admitted basically, we're going to just throw everything we can. We're going to use every foul I have to use. We're going to get physical. We're going to try to knock them off their game and then hope that the refs don't call every single one of them, which they called a lot of them. And I know a lot of people on Twitter that were anti-Michigan were like, oh, this game is being reffed one-sided and all that. They were fouling. I don't know what you want to say. I mean, both teams were physical, but UConn was fouling because that was their strategy to try to be really physical with them. And maybe in another game, they may have gotten away with more than they did. But the other important thing for UConn was they did not win the first 5 minutes of the second half. They needed to do that. Now, they didn't get smoked either. It was kind of a wash. But they were chasing that game because they didn't win the first 5 minutes of the second half. And then it was an uphill climb, and they almost got there. They really did. When Roddy Gale missed both free throws with 30 seconds to go up 4, I almost thought, we're heading for another Duke ending here. Like, if they don't, and they were great at the free throw line, which is odd because he had a great block in the game. And Roddy Gale, the former Buckeye, gets a title. Like, he left and got what he wanted. And so, but when he missed those 2 free throws and Caravan's coming down and Caravan's launching to get him within 1, if he makes that, now all of a sudden Michigan is like, we were up 11 with 5 minutes to go, and now we're up a point. Like, that would have been real. And so these games come down to that situation in crunch time. Who's going to make that shot? And Caravan misses. McKinney made both of his free throws, and then he salted it away. But
McKinney hit that big 3, too, with about a couple minutes left to go in the game as well. And so much has been made of, the transfers that they got. I mean, that's a local guy. That's a local prospect for Michigan that stepped up big in a big-time moment. And so, Dusty May, the train is off and running, and I don't know if this is going to slow down anytime soon. We shall see. I mean, the dude's got 64 wins in his first 2 years up there in Ann Arbor. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, that's the most for any coach in his first 2 seasons since Calipari did it over there in Kentucky back in 09 and 11. And so that's what we're looking at here. And again, it's just credit to this era that we're all living in sports right now, to where you can have an elite coach, which they have in Dusty May, because we saw what he did with FAU and taking them to the Final Four. And it's the perfect combination of you have the coach with the X and O's and you have the money to spend. And also, too, I don't think the Jordan Brand stuff doesn't hurt either. That doesn't hurt either as far as the appeal and the gear and all the stuff you can throw at these kids, too, because I'm sure they like rocking all that.
So this used to be a negative when you'd say this title was bought and paid for. Now you're doing good business. And I think that's what happened last night. We'll examine that when we come back. How much did it cost them? And we'll continue our conversation a little bit from yesterday on this last layer of pressure on Ohio State basketball. Was it applied last night? That's next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open at 1033 Polaris Parkway at Polaris Commons. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Polaris Commons in Columbus. The new Chicken and Cheddar Rancher is here at Firehouse Subs. Protein-packed with grilled chicken breast, crispy bacon, melted cheddar, and creamy buttermilk ranch. A trusted favorite elevated Firehouse Subs style. Grab the new Chicken and Cheddar Rancher today. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed your team for any game day event. Visit the restaurant or skip the line and order through the Firehouse Subs app. You'll be thankful you did. Only at Firehouse Subs at participating U.S. restaurants.
home should be a comfortable place, but sometimes it's filled with rooms that are too hot, too cold, high energy bills, noise, and polluted air. You deserve better because you care about home comfort, and that's why Logan Services will care for you. We're fast with same-day estimates and next-day installation. We're friendly, listening to you, offering a system for every home and every budget. Get comfortable by choosing Logan AC and Heat Services.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
They will resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $20 on your first Kroger pickup or delivery order of $75 or more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
Hi, I'm Cherie Sample Hughes, Women in Government Board Chair. Alzheimer's disease often starts subtly with a memory slip, lost word, or forgotten appointment. For patients experiencing memory and thinking issues, there are FDA-cleared blood biomarker tests that can help detect the buildup of proteins in the brain that can lead to the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. That's why early detection and diagnosis are so important. Sharing details about your memory and thinking issues with your doctor can help determine if testing is right for you. Find more at womeningovernment.org.
Teachers care deeply about their students. We know that educators are best able to support students when the needs of classrooms are met. The job of the Worthington Education Association is to support the needs of educators through mentoring programs, through professional development opportunities, doing whatever we can to help teachers support the needs of their students. My name is Emma Ruiz, and I am a proud member of the Worthington Education Association because strong unions make strong public schools for our students.
Your favorite fan shows are available as a podcast. What a concept! And don't miss exclusive podcast content like Austin and Byrne. Listen on your schedule from anywhere in the world. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine today, but you'll need that jacket. Highs only getting into the mid to upper 40s across central Ohio. And then for tonight, clear skies with lows into the 20s. Widespread frost develops overnight into Wednesday morning, otherwise turning sunny with daytime highs milder, getting into the mid to low 60s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Anthony finally hit a hole-in-one.
It's in the hole!
So now what? Just bask in the glory?
And that's how she wrote.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Michigan wins the first national title in hoops since '89. Wow. First one for the Big Ten since 2000. So they end the drought. And if you start poking around on the internet, you probably can find a little bit of the NIL stuff, whether you really truly believe it or not. Front Office Sports, and we've had Ben Axelrod on from Front Office Sports, and the Wolverines roster, if you believe it, cost them about $10 million. So it's one of the most expensive ones in college hoops. Kentucky spent probably double that, and look what happened to them. But so the 10 million schools are probably Duke. I mean, the teams that made a run, St. John's, Duke, Houston.
I wouldn't be surprised if UConn's in that tier, too.
Yeah, I don't.
Somewhere in their tier.
They probably should be because they can go all in on basketball.
Yeah.
And so what did they get for Kentucky reportedly was like $22 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. On3 was reporting that. I don't know how they know or how they get it leaked, but it's out there.
So you're telling me they did double and then some.
Yeah.
What Michigan paid. Interesting. Okay.
Now,
if that's true. That's true.
So they got Yaxel Lendeborg, who won Big Ten Player of the Year, and he was
the number one player in the portal, according to a lot of different publications. He was the guy everyone was covering.
Yeah. And certainly all their guys, Cadeau and every one of their guys came through the transfer portal. So he was where, UAB?
I believe so,
okay. So it's not like he came from a massive school, but he came from, UAB's made some noise before in the tournament. But anyway.
Are they the Blazers? What are they?
Yeah, the Blazers.
Like a dragon
got
logo,
a great logo. They played here in Columbus about 15 years ago, I think, in the tournament and won. Yeah. And I remember saying, I need some of that gear. It's pretty strong.
It's a good look.
So they landed Elliot Cadeau. He was as they call it, the MOP, the most outstanding player from Carolina. And Adai Mara, the big fella, came from UCLA. And Morris Johnson Jr., who I talked about yesterday, that I'm sure Ohio State would love to have had, but probably couldn't afford, was from Illinois. And so that rounds out Michigan's transfer class, which was right behind St. John's. It was right there. Now, on paper, it's different than playing out in real life. They also had the number 11 recruiting class. Trey McKinney, who we just talked about, was a 4-star kid. And so they have this talent coming through, and they paired it with and the trick is to try to catch lightning in a bottle with all this talent and have these guys feel like it isn't all about the money or that there's some entitlement to, because they read this stuff and they know how much money everybody's getting paid. So they may assume that they're supposed to win, like Kentucky may have. But none of those teams that spent like Michigan spent, some of them had some better seasons, but not like this. Kentucky was 22-14, second round exit. That's not what they paid for. Texas paid. They snuck into the tournament with a first 4 win and made a little noise, lost in the Sweet 16. And Arkansas was a big spender, and they made the Sweet 16, lost to Arizona. Here's Dusty May on why he thought that this could be the turnaround. It could happen real quick at Michigan.
Living in Ypsilanti when I was a young assistant in Eastern Michigan, I wasn't that familiar with Michigan other than '89 and being a fan of the game and just the feelings that people had, the pride they had in their university. I just thought that was really, really cool. We thought it was a great time to get back to the Midwest. We were at a stage in our life, we were empty nesters and just wanted something different. And then just felt like Michigan was a place, ultimately, with the changing landscape, that we could retain really good players, even if it wasn't going great for them. It was going to be hard to leave. And even Terrace is a great example. He had options to go anywhere in the country, and it was difficult for him, based on my conversations, it was difficult for him to leave the University of Michigan and the relationships that he had made and all the people that poured into him. So I just felt like that's the type of place that I'd love to coach at.
Amazing that the main guy for UConn was a guy that played for Michigan. And now he's on the other side. Now, he probably got paid a lot of money. What's he thinking now? Like years from now, when you look back at it, what maybe he could have been a part of.
Still a good run for him, obviously, but just falling that short, right? And knowing that, hey, I was a part of that huddle, a part of that team's got to be a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow. I liken the amount of NIL money you have. Let's say you have a whole bunch to a GM that has a whole bunch of draft picks, right? There's going to be teams in the next couple of weeks that we're going to be talking about that have so much draft capital going into the NFL draft. It's not an automatic pathway to success. It's not, because as you laid out, a lot of basketball programs have spent a lot of coin and fell short of probably what those collectives and those big spenders thought the expectation was when they handed over those type of checks. And so that's why I just think it's so important, especially now for Ohio State. And I know we'll talk to Adam Jardy at 2:30 today, to where they're looking at a situation to their roster's bare right now, right? There's a lot of guys that have gone into the portal, and I'm excited to see what they can do this time around in the NIL world, in that space, if Diebler and his staff are going to have the ability to swing as big as I'm sure that they want to swing. But that's not an automatic. And for Michigan, that to me is impressive, right? Like the chemistry and guys coming in from the other programs that you mentioned that knew that they were going to be a piece of something special, may not always get what they wanted, so they had the buy-in and the ability as well to go and buy players, and it led to what we saw this year, which was those guys just cooking all season.
This should add another layer. I said it yesterday. I really believe it. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't. Michigan's the only school that's won in both big sports since 2020. The only one. They got one in football and they got one in basketball. You don't have to have it the same year. You just have to feel like that you're in the mix. And Ohio State certainly got in. That was good. They went down to the wire. Down 15.5 didn't help, but they climbed back. And I know it's the big what if. The what if is if they come out on the right side of that and get a shot at Duke. And no matter what happens, you feel a little bit more like, okay, they maxed out this year. They do have more dollars, if you want to believe it. They do. How much more, I don't know. Because they were not in the mix for Morez Jr. They weren't. They couldn't be. They would go and say, okay, we'll take Brandon Knoll. Like, they are not swinging that big. Now we'll see if they can. And with Royal leaving, I don't know how much they felt they would have had to give Royal to retain him, but I'm sure they feel like, all right, now the most important thing is, since we're not retaining him, that they have to make that money work really well for them. Because, and if they're in on somebody, you mentioned Jardy, if they're in on a really good transfer point guard, which they should be, I'll ask them about this at 2:30. If you get a starting center and a veteran point guard, now you feel like you can put a team together. I'm sure that Devin thought, I've been in the program for a few years. Royal, I've got this, I have this coming to me. Bruce is gone. I'm the local kid. I've invested in this program. Where's mine? And they probably had to make some very tough decisions.
Here's the tough part, I think, for the Ohio State basketball program right now. As like you said, we don't know the financial part and all that. There's a lot of reports that are out there. But even if you do have the money to spend, what you're competing against, I think, are these brands now in the Big Ten that are really, really good basketball programs and the coaches, right? So you got Dusty May in Michigan. You got Izzo and Sparty, Underwood in Illinois. We know what's going on with Painter and Purdue. And so that's the other part as well, is how do you sell now to these guys that you need to come here, because those programs are coming to the table too with good money to spend as well. So that's another part of this uphill climb, I think, right now for Diebler as well, is that, well, yes, hey, maybe my pockets are a little bit bigger than what they were before. Now you've got to sell your program in a way to say, hey, this is why you should come here and not go to East Lansing or Ann Arbor or whatever it may be, too. So I think that's going to be a challenge, or can be a challenge, too, and probably has already been the case.
Yeah. And it's not like Ohio State's in the basement. I mean, Ohio State finished 8th in the Big Ten this year.
Oh, a solid year, man.
It was. And think about what those teams did in the tournament. Michigan, Illinois, Purdue, Michigan State, Wisconsin got upset. UCLA made a minor move. Like, every team above them in the standings this year made the tournament and did something outside of Wisconsin. So, if anything, you could say Wisconsin was the one that should be like, wow. Wisconsin got the ultimate wake-up call on, yes, the rest of the season puts you in position for March. What you do in March matters. And they flunked it.
Yeah.
And Ohio State went into that tournament thinking that they weren't satisfied, yet they needed to probably gain some momentum. But I'm here to tell you, I think momentum is year to year now. I don't think there's a lot of carryover. There can be when you have, like, I'll tell you where the momentum is. It's knowing what Bynum might turn into. It's knowing how Junie may mature even more and be better. That's the momentum. And then the momentum continues with, who did you get in the portal? And now they'll feel like maybe they are building something.
And the addition of Thompson, right?
Yeah.
And McDonald's All-American.
Absolutely.
And having those come to the forefront, those guys step up as well, right? So I think you want, obviously, just a healthy balance of both. So hopefully that'll be the case, because I know there's a lot of excitement around what Thompson can be and the juice that he can provide. And those type of guys come into your program as high school prospects, and they show promise in development, then you've got a really good thing going as well with the traditional, if you will, way of recruiting and having guys say, yeah, I'm going to come to Ohio State because another McDonald's All-American went there and did well.
All right, we'll come back in 2 minutes, and we'll switch to Buckeye football with our friend Dave Biddle. Who has impressed this spring? He'll put a stamp on that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan. Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Looking for TRT that's flexible enough for your lifestyle? Head to Low T Center, the #1 name in TRT. Choose testosterone shots, pills, or enclomiphene. Pay with insurance or out of pocket, and even have your treatment shipped to your door. And now, Low T Center is offering new peptides, new treatments, and more. Boost your energy, your libido, and your confidence for results you can feel. Book your free testosterone test now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Spring is here, and there's no better place to make memories than the Columbus Zoo. See tigers up close, watch playful otters, and see the baby elephants in action. For a limited time, take advantage of our Zoo After 2 p.m. deal. Plan your adventure at columbuszoo.org.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
The weather in Central Ohio just got better, so why shouldn't your loan rate? CME Federal Credit Union wants to try to beat your current loan rate by 2% on autos and toys. Plus, no payments for 90 days on car loans and 60 days on motorcycles, boats, and more. Go to CMEFCU.org today.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
True to his name, Matty Ice wears a winter coat in the middle of summer. He lives the gimmick, man. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, spring has sprung. Ohio State, in the midst of all their practices, we're heading towards a spring game, not far off. And our guy, Dave Biddle, editor of Bucknuts, host of On the Money, and a lot more with us now, courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. My friend, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Always good to join you guys.
Thanks, my brother. All right. So there's always a fine line between kind of waiting to see and then also how much stock do we put in it. But what do you believe has been very real this spring for Ohio State that maybe you weren't anticipating? I'm talking about maybe some people who have impressed, where you can kind of read into it a little bit.
Yeah, like it's as we all know. I mean, the roster turnover is crazy, right? With like 51 new guys, and then in addition to that, like several new coaches. But yeah, I mean, I've been paying close attention to the transfers. They had 18 total transfers, and 16 of them are already here. The only two that are not here. Bashawn Washington, the offensive lineman from Dartmouth, originally from Springfield, and then the walk-on kicker they're getting from Notre Dame to be the kickoff specialist. So the other 16 guys are here. James Smith was the highest-ranked member of the transfer class, and he's lived up to the billing. And I think that's huge for Ohio State because he can also play the one tech, which he did not do at Alabama, and that would enable Ohio State to get James Smith and Edric Hughes on the field at the same time. And other guys are showing out, like Earl Little Jr., Quay Rousseau. I expected more out of Terry Moore, and I still think he's going to be a good player for the Buckeyes this year. He's coming off that torn ACL, missed all of last year. I tell you guys, Dominic Kelly, who came in from Georgia, who's a corner, he looks good out there. I thought he might be a depth piece this year. He's going to play a lot. So, short story long, Anthony and Maddie, I think this transfer class, Christian Allegra is another one, Jacoby Jackson, we could go on and on. Overall, I think this Devin McEwen, this transfer class is very solid. Does it have the star power of like Caleb Downs and Quinshon Judkins? Of course not. But I think, man, they did a good job in the portal.
All right, let's get into this wide receiver room because there's a lot of buzz right now out there in the streets about one Brock Boyd and how he is looking right now. We know what Jeremiah is going to provide. And I think we all feel pretty good about what Chris Henry is going to do, but I don't think this was on a lot of the bingo cards, Biz, is Brock Boyd right now popping off the way that he has. So just talk about what you've seen from him and maybe what role you think he can carve out in year number 1 here.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Anthony Gonzalez out there wearing that number 11. You know, he's tough. He's probably more athletic than he gets credit for, but he's got some speed, he's got quickness, but he just catches everything. He's tough. You talk to his teammates and his coaches, they all talk about his football IQ. His dad's a coach. And it's one of those things where, like, he wasn't one of these kids that went to a lot of, like, camps, 7-on-7 camps in the summer, so he was extremely underrated. Like, he was ranked as the number 100 wide receiver in the country in the 2026 class. I'm of the opinion if Brian Hartline wanted you, because Brian Hartline was the one that recruited him. This is like Hartline's final gift to Ohio State. If Brian Hartline wants you, you're like automatically should be a 4-star, right? Like he's the best in the business. So if somehow Brock Boyd was a 3-star, ranked 100th in the country, and like 626 overall, regardless of position in the country. And as you guys know, he played at a powerhouse program in Texas, put up monster stats. Now, is he going to have a huge role this year as a true freshman? I don't think so, because obviously JJ and Brandon Ennis, Devin McEwen looks really good. They're all going to play, and they're going to get the ball to tight ends as well, running backs. But I do think he's going to play like way more than anybody expected as a true freshman. And down the road, probably as early as next year, I think he's going to be a big-time player for Ohio State.
Dave, does anything happen this spring in the running back room that could, affect things a lot this fall?
It's interesting because I think when it all shakes out, this will be a better running back room than what they had last year. Like right now, it's like a mash unit in there. Hopefully they'll get Legend Bay back. I think it's interesting that, anytime Ryan Day is asked about, the offense in general, he doesn't even have to be asked about the running back room. He will bring up Legend Bay. So, he'll be like, hopefully we get Legend back. He can add some explosive runs. But, yeah, I think when we look at it, guys, like the running back room is going to be better than it was last year because, like, Bo Jackson as a sophomore, this is just, in theory. This doesn't mean this is like, set in stone. Bo Jackson as a sophomore, in theory, would be better than Bo Jackson as a true freshman. And he was good, very good as a true freshman. Isaiah West, same deal. I think Jacoby Jackson, the 7th-year senior transfer from Florida, he looks really good. I think he'll be an upgrade over what C.J. Donaldson was last year. And in my opinion, I'd rather have true freshman Legend Bay than James Peoples, who's a solid back, and I think he's going to do well at Penn State. And they got other guys like Turbo Rogers. They got true freshman Favor Akey. So I think when you look at it, I think if you're Ryan Day, you're looking at it right now, and you've got like 2 running backs out there. You've got Jacoby Jackson, and you've got Favor Akey, and nobody else. And I get it, like that it's a concern right now. And you've got a couple, you got 3 offensive linemen out with Austin Saraville being out, with Phillip Daniels being out, and Josh Padilla out. So, yeah, Anthony, as our guy Jim Tressel loved to say, man, you can't win the national championship in spring, but you sure can lose it. But I think when the dust settles, Ohio State's going to have a better running back room than what they had last year.
So I've been fascinated, Bids, by this collaboration between Arthur Smith and Ryan Day and what they want to do and what they want the offense to look like on Saturdays this year. And so just hearing from both these guys over the last few weeks in the winter and all that stuff, Bids, like, what's your understanding of this collaboration and it's how it's coming together?
I just have a really good feeling about it. Like they're keeping it close to the vest as far as what the tweaks are going to be. But, Coach Day talked about this yesterday. He said he really likes some of the creativity and some of the new formations that Arthur introduces himself as Art, so I call him Art. But no, as Arthur Smith has – and then we knew this, Maddie and Anthony, as you guys know, like he wasn't going to come in here and like reinvent the wheel and this is going to be Arthur Smith's offense. It was going to be the Ryan Day Ohio State offense with Arthur Smith's fingerprints all over it. He was going to make several tweaks, and we don't know what those will be yet, but like I think Buckeye fans are going to love Arthur Smith. I get a similar feeling of Matt Patricia last year. There were some questions because people, the NFL situation and everything, head coach of the Lions. And even after that, he kind of like bounced around a little bit, had some kind of weird jobs, and then was out of football for a year. Not the same thing with Arthur Smith, but I think it was a home run hire, and I think he's going to help the running game. I think he's going to help the offensive line. And Ohio State has like I think this is huge and probably an unreported story. Ohio State has the most experienced returning offensive line in the country. They have 91 career starts returning on their offensive line. And Art Smith was an offensive lineman himself at North Carolina. He broke into the coaching profession as an offensive line coach. He was the offensive line coach with the Tennessee Titans before he became their OC, and then parlayed that into an NFL head coaching gig. Guys, I'll be shocked if we're not talking about, again, after the 2026 season, that Arthur Smith was a great hire. Now, might he be one and done? Very possible, because I think it's highly likely that Bill Belichick's going to probably not survive after this year at North Carolina, and Art Smith might be the head coach of North Carolina next year. But if it's like Chip Kelly 2 years ago and the Buckeyes won the national championship, Buckeye fans would take that all day.
No doubt. Dave Biddle with us talking Buckeye football this spring. You mentioned Dominic Kelly, the transfer from Georgia, but the corners are right there, Jermaine Matthews Jr. and Devin Sanchez. What kind of leap does Devin have to make this year in your mind, and will we see some battles in spring against the top-line receivers at all?
It was interesting, Anthony, that when Ryan Day was asked about it yesterday, he said like no starting spots have been secured there at corner. He said, that was very interesting. He's like, we got really good depth there. Now, I would bet your car or one of your cars that Jermaine Matthews and Devin Sanchez absolutely will be the starting corners, but they do have good depth there, and you knew that those guys were probably going to be the starters, but then when you lose like a Bryce West, you lose an Aaron Scott, you're thinking, maybe the depth's not going to be there. But then you bring in a Dominic Kelly. Miles Lockhart didn't have a great scrimmage on Saturday, but also the Ohio State's receivers are pretty good, as you know. But he has good depth. He's a third-year sophomore. Cam Calhoun, another guy they brought in, I think he'll probably be more a special teams guy. He's really, really, really small. He's like 176 pounds. On the roster, he looks smaller than that. But Dominic Kelly's been a very pleasant surprise. And the true freshmen, like with Timmons and some of these guys and Thomas, they've got good depth there. Dominic Kelly's been the surprise for me. Coming from Georgia, was a true freshman last year. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. I thought he was like, okay, maybe, he'll play special teams this year. And, dude, he's out there wearing the number 24, looking like a bigger Sean. No, he's not going to be as good as Sean Springs. But, he's out there looking like a bigger Sean Springs on Saturday jumping routes. I was like, who is that? I'm like, oh, yeah, Dominic Kelly. So they've got good depth there. But to answer your question, Devin Sanchez played a ton last year and struggled at times, as you would as a true freshman playing corner, but that's huge for him to have over 300 snaps under his belt. I think Devin Sanchez, maybe not this year, but he's eventually going to be a superstar, I think, at Ohio State. Hopefully, if you're a Buckeye fan, it's going to be this year.
Well done, my man. Appreciate you very much. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, fellas.
Thanks, Bids. Dave Biddle with us, editor of Bucknuts, on the money here at the Fan on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we're going to come back. And the CBJ, desperation time. And the coach knows it, and he's reacting to it. We'll give you those details next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
The Reds' best opening day pitcher since 1900 won his fourth consecutive opener on this date, April 7th, back in 1986. The pitcher, Mario Soto. Mario started 6 openers in the 1980s, and his 4 victories were in 1983, 84, 85, and 86. Only one other pitcher in Reds history has 4 opening day wins, and that was Will White. And you say you don't remember him? Well, no wonder. He pitched back in the 1880s. The Reds have had many great pitchers since: Vandermeer, Blackwell, Maloney, Johnny Cueto. But Mario Soto is the only other to have racked up 4 victories on opening day, and his record-tying win on this date, April 7th, 1986, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open at 1033 Polaris Parkway at Polaris Commons. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Polaris Commons in Columbus.
Hey there, guys. Bo Bishop here. When it comes to making a big decision like the ring, you don't wing it. That's why I trust my friends at Diamond Cellar. For nearly 80 years, their family has helped generations of couples celebrate life's biggest moments with exceptional quality, larger diamonds, and better value. And guys, here's the best part. They walk you through it step by step so you know you're getting it right. Whether you're ready to propose or ready to upgrade, visit Diamond Cellar, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center, or learn more at diamondcellar.com. DiamondCellar.com.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. No one funks up the work microwave like these two. Fish again? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All righty. We've arrived.
To what exactly? Doomsday?
I think it's must win.
This is as must win as it gets.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel like not because you'd be mathematically eliminated, but you'd be feeling that heat.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's you lose the effect of being able to say, all right, we played well, we just got to look to the next game, because there aren't enough left, and you've had nothing to reinforce your feeling. Everybody needs results. I don't care whether you're a golfer or a hockey player, it doesn't matter. You need to see the ball go in the hole. They need a result no matter how they get it. I'd rather them play horribly tonight and win, honestly, because I think theirs is more built on trying to find some confidence in these last games to say we can do it. I know they can say it. They can tell each other that, and they keep doing it because that's what because the alternative is worse. We had this conversation when you were out last week. I had it with Joshua about just because you're mad and throwing stuff and angry in the media and flipping tables doesn't make you any better. It doesn't. Anger it can work maybe in the moment at a time where you're playing the game.
Some guys can live off of that, right? Like a Draymond Green. He can day in and day out thrive off of that type of energy. Like, I think he honestly needs it, right? Some guys are the other way. Like our Z, we talk to him all the time for Hockey and Hounds. He doesn't need that. He's just going to go about there and handle his business. He's not a big rah-rah type of guy. And I'm not saying one way is right or one way is wrong. So I agree with you, right? Like, I think it's good to have those moments. I think it's good to shake the room, whether you're a coach, whether you're a captain. They had the players-only meeting the other day, which is always a red flag, as we know in sports. When that happens, it's a clear sign that something in-house obviously isn't right, and the players feel like, hey, we respect what the coach has to say in his voice, but it needs to come from us. And hopefully there was some accountability there as well, because there's been some, in my opinion, some eye-opening comments from Rick about guys out there maybe doing their own thing every once in a while and not playing within the system and all those things, which is, to me, that shouldn't be happening ever, but especially right now when you got to come together as a team and figure this thing out. And so I think you bring up a really good point about you can say what you want about how you feel and the belief you have in yourself and teammates. But if you're somebody on Broadway, you can go through all the practice runs you want and feel good about those. But when that curtain opens and those bright lights are cranked up and you smell the popcorn and hear the buzz in the crowd, there's just a difference to actually doing it. You got to have the time on task. And so it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, what we can get from them. But there has to be, I don't care what they say, a little bit of doubt in their mind right now about what they're capable of, because they're not getting the returns that we just got from them over the last couple of months when we were talking about them winning, what was it, 20 of 27 or something like that. It's just not there right now, but that's the hard part of being an athlete, is that sometimes you're not going to have it, but you just got to find a way to push through and get some type of results.
Everything's magnified now. Everything they do, every little thing that leads to a mistake. When you're winning, you can not brush them off, but you don't have to focus on them.
Yeah.
You can focus on the positive. Now this is a team that's being forced to focus on the negative. They have to. They can't lean into let's just hope today's different. Now, I do think that having the 2 days off is going to help. They haven't had 2 days off since the early March. They haven't. And they're going into their next biggest game of the year, and it is because they're playing Detroit on the road. And I think both teams are feeling the heat. This should be a very intense game tonight. And it's not like they're scoring a lot. I think, honestly, this game should, unless there's drastic mistakes or power plays or what have you, I mean, this game should probably be a 6-goal total or less. It probably feels like that.
3-2 type of night, something like that?
4-2, maybe an empty netter at the end, something. He's changing the lines. He promised he'd do it. He's going to do it.
Good.
He's going to try to shake it up. He's putting this team in a snow globe, and he is shaking it up. Now, it doesn't mean that that's permanent. None of this is permanent. If they score in the first 10 minutes, if Sillinger and Fantilli and John, and by the way, KJ moving up, top line he was this morning. This is a team that's not generating enough shots.
Yeah.
They've got to shoot the puck. They have to. And I'm not saying that you're just shooting it to shoot it, but they've got to create some vibe that they're going to put some pressure on Detroit tonight. They're going to have to attack. They're going to have to play less not to lose and very much to win. That'd be the ultimate regret. You have to take it to them. So if Cole and Fantilli and Kent are up there, you get your chance.
Let it rip, man.
Like, you get your chance.
Go.
And I've looked. Jackets score in the first 10 minutes, they're plus 182. And so I feel like that may be actually some decent value.
Yeah,
but this is what it has become. I mean, against Carolina, the forwards aren't shooting. The D-men are shooting. The forwards are not. And when they do have a chance, they haven't been able to seal it up. Marchie's a little snake bit. Marchment has been a little snake bit on the doorstep. And this is what we've come to. I keep trying to lean into that there's nothing a win can't cure, but now you're running out of games. That's the I said that a couple games ago. I mean, now you need this and others, but you can't worry about the others. And they've lost. I mean, this is just crazy to think that they've gone on a streak now of losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 8. Now, they got 1 point because they lost in the shootout to Boston. But they've lost 7 of 8 games. And that's what's in there between their ears right now. It's not that you got to see a result. They can't keep coming in saying, I mean, listen, I'm not going to fault them. They get a microphone put in front of their face in a locker room. What are they going to say?
They're going to say the right things.
They're going to say that we know talk is cheap, but you guys are in here looking for answers. We don't have the answers right now. If we did, we'd be winning. But what we can promise you is until we're dead, we're not dead. That's all they can say. That's what any athlete could say. And so if they win tonight, then it could ignite a final stay alive run for them. Doesn't mean they're getting in, but it could ignite something. If they lose, I really don't see a way out because I don't even know. I mean, if they miraculously, after losing 8 in a row, would win their last 4, that would be as surprising as anything.
I like your call about what a positive result can do or could do, right? Because it's like sometimes in basketball where a good offensive player in hoops is not having a good night from 3 or his mid-range isn't falling. And what do we see sometimes? That player will get to the free throw line and he sees a couple go through, and then it's like, okay, now it's pop. Now I can pop off a little bit out here. And so they have not too far back in the rearview mirror a good body of work and good success where they went on that run. Now, that was a healthy unit for the most part, and that's not who they are right now. But if you can dust that off a little bit tonight and handle your business and have a sound, clean game, and I think what can spark that is the offense. I think if they can go to bed tonight with a win and with a nice amount of points on the board or goals on the board, I think that can get to what you're talking about is, okay, now we can maybe find our groove again. You go to bed tonight again with 1 or 2 on the board and the loss, then it's, to your point, probably over, but they got to get the offense going.
So I'm with you to a certain extent, but I think if they won this game 1-0,
you'll take that too.
It would be honestly.
Yeah,
really, I know exactly what you're saying. And what you've described, I feel, was something that may or may not exist in hockey. And it does exist in basketball the way you said. Because the Michigan Wolverines were 2 for 15 on threes last night. 2 for 15. They were 25 of 28 at the free throw line. And Roddy Gale missed 2 at the end back-to-back, or they would have been even better. Yeah. So that's what they can do. That's the kind of team. In hockey, it's a little different. There's not a lot of alternative ways. You can dump the puck in. You can forecheck more. You can go on the attack a little more. You can try to create more. But you can't create points. You can't create goals in that way like you can. Like, at least Michigan could score from the free throw line. Like, yeah, we can't hit anything from out here, but we're big enough and strong enough to get inside and make them defend us, and we can score 25 points of our 69 at the free throw line. So that's what happened with that. We'll see if the Jackets can do it tonight. All right, we're going to come back top of the hour after sports update, and this could be the ultimate temptation for this NFL team. Should they take it? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
The Reds are on the radio.
And he caught it! No way! What a grab! Noelvi Marte! Ellie De La Cruz is on his horse, and they're waving him to the house. Suarez swings, he drives this. It is gone! Eugenio Suarez puts the Reds on top.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Spring has arrived, and it'll be a great time to open your windows. But, oh, wait, your windows don't open easily. They leak when it rains. They've got cracked glass. They need repainting again. Ugh. Getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation, that's easy and affordable. Right now, during the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. With Window Nation, you'll get windows that easily slide open and closed. They are made with top quality seals so they won't leak when it's rainy or windy. And unlike other windows, they're maintenance free. They're so good, Window Nation stands behind them with a lifetime warranty. And they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's The More You Buy, The More You Save sale. Going on now. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com for your consultation. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day.
Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint, ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah. Isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got day baseball here in about 10 minutes as the Cleveland Guardians host the Kansas City Royals at 1:10. Gavin Williams makes the start for Cleveland opposite Noah Cameron. The Cincinnati Reds have won 4 straight. They're in Miami to face the Marlins at 6:40. Andrew Abbott will make his 3rd start of the season. Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. Coverage on the Fans HD3 begins at 6:10. That one on the Fan 3 because over on the Fan 2 at 5:55, the Ohio State baseball team is taking on Bowling Green. The Columbus Blue Jackets have lost 6 straight, and they have a massive game tonight in Detroit against the Red Wings. The CBJ and the Wings are tied with 88 points, both 2 points out of a playoff spot. Massive changes in the lines expected, and Jet Greaves gets the start in goal. Pre-game coverage on the Fan begins at 6:30. Puck drop is at 7. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All righty, second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. So let's preface this by saying I doubt he's going to be there. Because we talked yesterday about how some team is going to be tempted by the fruit of another, tempted by Jeremiah Love. And they're either going to go up and get him or draft him early. And I don't see him being available. Tennessee has pick number 4. And the Giants had picked number 5, and they're the Bengals, sitting at 10. So the reason we bring this up is because he's doing a pre-draft visit, or he did, or he's going to do it Monday.
I believe it already happened. I think it was yesterday.
That had happened yesterday.
What happened was. Yeah, I think it happened yesterday.
I wonder how that went. Where was that in Cincinnati?
I would assume so.
Where would that take place?
You could bring him to the stadium, maybe
show him how to cross the street.
Yeah.
Hey, this is how we go to practice.
I was down there last week.
It's like a Frogger game.
When JP filled in for me, I was down there last week with Fish. And like just looking out of the hotel room and seeing just how the practice facility is set up, I just laughed out loud. It's utterly ridiculous. Why we don't have a connected facility.
Well, maybe they should take a page out of the Packers book and give them little bicycles.
Ride bikes?
Yeah. Little tricycles. Maybe a tandem bike.
Oh. What about like a little motorcycle, a little sidecar on it?
So T and Jamar can cycle together?
Well, sure, unless you're on the back of the bike, and then you don't have to pedal. You can just fake it.
You ever been on one of those pedal wagons with people? You can ride around like downtown or whatever.
Going sideways. Sideways and front ways and back ways.
That thing can be a grind.
Like a Wonkavator.
Yeah, like you better have a whole bunch of people putting in work, because if it's like 3 of you guys that have to do all the heavy lifting, you're in trouble.
But when you pedal, my pedals are going too, right?
I don't believe so.
I can just be just kind of like...
you'd be that guy. You wouldn't be... You'd leave it up to TLC and I. You guys get us to where we need to go. And then our legs are cooked for 3 days after that.
That'd be have like 10 people participating. It's like, just move your damn legs.
That's the only way we're going forward?
Some of them are like that. I think some of them have some type of engine or something in there. But if it doesn't have that, then it's on everybody on this thing to get to where we need to go.
Yeah, we're going to save money. We're not going to have an engine and just do this the old human style.
Mm-hmm. What if they told Jeremiah Love we all get like e-bikes we can just cruise around on?
Okay.
You're doing some pedaling on that, right?
I believe so. I believe so.
They go pretty fast, but you're doing some, and then the bike's doing most of it.
How fast are those things?
What percentage is the bike doing?
70-30, my guess.
That's right up my alley.
And TLC, if you're looking this up, how fast does an e-bike go? What's like peak miles per hour we can get on that thing?
E-bike go.
Hit up Chad, see what he's talking about today.
I'm hitting up Chad right now. Chad tells me.
Because the question I have real fast before you answer is, can we break the speed limit on an e-bike? Like, can you go faster than the posted speed limit?
Okay.
Well, it depends. They got the Class 1 e-bike, the Class 2, the Class 3, and the higher-powered models. So the higher-powered models say that they can go 50-plus, which those are not just, like, around the streets. Like, those have to be psychos who own
like a motorcycle.
The general ones that you would probably see can go up to 20.
Okay.
Which, that's not nothing.
No.
Would you
get popped in a school zone?
Would you get, your local apartment complex you might break that speed limit, but are you getting honked at from behind if you're going 20 and a 25? Are you getting passed?
Well, you could get passed. I don't think you're getting honked at.
On the e-bike? No.
Oh, yeah. No, if you're on an e-bike in the middle of the road
or
if you're not doing the speed limit.
I mean, if you're in a car.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Are you noticeably breaking the speed limit actually in the negative direction?
Oh, if I'm behind someone that's going 20 and a 25, they're getting a little.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, Maddie, a 25 would technically be a neighborhood.
I need you to go the speed limit, not under it.
But in a 25, where are we really going? We're probably going home or leaving our home.
But I think that's
we're not
pretty
out.
Noticeable difference.
It's not for a long period of time, though.
But I still don't want to be going under the speed limit. Like, let's go.
Anytime?
No. Like, everybody should be going.
You go right up to
I think everybody should be going at minimum 65
I think on the freeway. On the highway, but I'm in every neighborhood, zone. Everyone shouldn't always have to do 25.
Oh, yeah. In my apartment complex, it's like 15, I believe. Like, let's go. 15 is not that fast either. Like, why are you going under 15 miles per hour? You know what I mean?
Well, you might get ticketed on your e-bike.
If you're in a parking lot or something. Like, I always feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. I feel like you come back into the neighborhood like you're home. What's the rush? You're going to be home in 30
I might
seconds.
have to go to the bathroom. I might be ready to watch a game, something like that, You asked what the rush was.
The bathroom and watching the game.
Speak his language, Ice. His fantasy quarterback might be about to take a snap.
Yeah, there you go.
He might be starting a drive.
Then he's laying on the horn.
No. If I forgot my phone and I got to make a lineup change, then maybe. but I'm not.
There it is. So there's something that would get you to lay on the horn.
I'm not going to talk myself into this.
If you're driving home, Sunday Night Football starts at, I believe, 8:20, and it's 8:19, and you got your fantasy quarterback, and you don't know if his team won the coin toss or not, but you got to find out. Are you laying on the horn for someone going a little bit too slow?
The horn's not going to do anything. I think you're either passing or you're not.
Do you think
the horn might actually make them go slower?
Do you think that your fantasy football players' performances change based off of whether or not you're watching them?
No. Sometimes I don't watch.
Really?
Sometimes I purposely when I post to Maddie. No, sometimes I'm not saying I can't watch all of them at the same time. But what I mean is sometimes I used to, when I was doing fantasy football, I'd have the laptop on or I'd have my phone and I'd constantly be looking at the points and see who has what. Sometimes I like to, little delayed gratification.
You want that
I like
surprise.
to look at it later.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. In fact, when I got to the semis this year, I was doing the math in my head.
See, I think
I was trying to predict how many points I had and how many they had, and then I would convince myself to lowball mine a little bit, and maybe give theirs a little more, and then I would
mental hedging.
That's right,
mental hedging,
dude. I still contend, and this all goes back to the time where we said, Anthony, if you could only play fantasy of one sport, what would you choose? And you chose baseball. I don't think the addiction is sports watching. I don't think the addiction is gambling. I think Anthony's addiction is just setting lineups. I think his true calling is to be a GM somewhere because he just puts together the puzzle pieces, and that's what he really wants. He doesn't even have to watch the games. He set his lineup, and that's the day.
You've got to drop. He just speaks.
Well, I like moving pieces around the board. I feel like this is part of how GMs think. I think this way in fantasy. I imagine in reality it works somewhat similar.
But this is almost you in reality. There's an alternate universe where Anthony Rothman is the GM of some sports team.
Yeah.
He's Paul D. Podesta. He's doing multiple teams in multiple
but I'm not
leagues.
Analytics guy. Maddie knows that. I'm more my humanalytics that I created that I don't think is ever going to. I think if I went and interviewed.
Do we have a t-shirt
I'll tell you what. If I really had the energy to do this, I would try to interview like the top coaches in their profession, either maybe after they retired, and see if I could get like their one big example where humanalytics won out, where they were able to identify the human, the athlete, and not look at the analytics.
So if you were a coach or GM,
goes to the underdog stories.
You'd be heavy on what's a popular word in sports, culture. That would be big for you.
100%.
Yeah, the in-house culture and the guys that you're bringing in and how they're wired and
starts from the top.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Look at any great company or business or sports team. It all starts from the top. I don't care what you own, whether it's a restaurant or whether you think.
I do think though, and I agree with that because you're right. I do think, though, you got to have a wild card or two on your roster. You got to have that one player that's going to shake the room and ruffle some feathers because a lot of times those guys are really good players in sports, right? Like those guys that are maybe have you losing some sleep at night. So those guys would drive GM drive me nuts.
Right. That's the most frustrating part.
But you'd be like, man, this dude's a baller. I got to have him. I absolutely got to have him.
The stupid penalty, the showboating that gets us flagged for 15.
And then later in the game, he makes an amazing catch for a touchdown.
And then it's
the same guy.
Just take the go with the bad type of guy.
Yeah.
So
it's the same guy.
We'll have to get into this maybe a little bit because the Jeremiah Love, I think this is too hypothetical.
Let's do it next.
Because you don't think he's really going to be there, right? You don't have to answer that. You can answer it next. You will have to answer it, but just not right now.
I got you.
All right, if he's there, should they take him? We'll do it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You know High Bank for their award-winning spirits, but the food deserves just as much love. Enjoy happy hour with friends, brunch with family, and dinner that never misses. Make your reservation today at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
The weather in Central Ohio just got better, so why shouldn't your loan rate? CME Federal Credit Union wants to try to beat your current loan rate by 2% on autos and toys. Plus, enjoy no payments for 90 days on car loans and no payments for 60 days on motorcycles, boats, and more. With car rates as low as 4.99% APR and toy rates starting at 6.5% APR, it's the perfect time to save. Apply today at CMEFCU.org. Terms apply. Minimum floor rates 4.99% APR cars, 6.50% APR other vehicles. Federally insured by NCUA.
I'm Roger from Columbus. I've lived in Ohio all my life. Owning your home is a cornerstone of the American dream. But for seniors, property taxes keep going up and are costing us everything we've worked for. They're even making it impossible for my grandkids to afford their first homes. Vivek Ramaswamy believes when you own your home, you're in charge. As governor, he'll roll back property taxes to levels from before the end of the pandemic. It's a practical plan that will put thousands of dollars back in your pocket next year while maintaining strong education and dependable police and fire. Ohio's politicians have ignored this crisis for too long. But Vivek Ramaswamy isn't a politician. He's an entrepreneur, and he's ready to fight for you. Ohio needs a leader who makes your life more affordable. That's Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Last year, Eric Reeser and T-Bone staged the first annual Fan 5K. People had a good time and no one died. So we decided to do it all again. It all goes down Saturday, June 20th in Otterbein.
Presented by The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Will Reeser's muscular calves explode? Will T-Bone's beard choke him while running? More importantly, will Tyvus Common Man and Timmy make total fools of themselves? Maybe. Magic 8 Ball says signs point to yes. Register today at 971therace.com. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine today, but you'll need that jacket. Highs only getting into the mid to upper 40s across central Ohio. And then for tonight, clear skies with lows into the 20s. Widespread frost develops overnight into Wednesday morning, otherwise turning sunny with daytime highs milder, getting into the mid to low 60s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special guests and everything Scarlet and Gray, the Fan. There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
I thought about this, and if Jeremiah Love is there at 10, then just blanket. Take him.
That's where you're at? That's fascinating coming from you.
Early on, I was like, please tell me. I guess you'd have to see how the board unfolds, right? Because if somehow, if it came down to Jeremiah Love and Sonny Styles, everything you hear about Jeremiah Love and everything we've seen is that he may be perhaps the best offensive player teams have scouted in a long time.
You know what I find really interesting about Jeremiah Love is this time last year, there were, and I don't know if it was apples to apples, but there was a similar vibe around Ashton Genty and what he was going to be, and still may be, in the league, right?
Yeah.
Just as far as how elite he was as a player and betting on the upside and all of that. And he went high in the draft, too. And last year for him it was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't anything significant. I think it's eye-opening where we are now versus where we were a few years ago with the running back position, and teams are willing to just hop back on this train of, hey, we're good. We're good with taking a running back in the top 5, top 10, whatever it may be. Because just a couple years ago when Jonathan Taylor was going through his whole thing, right, with the Colts, and they didn't really want to pay him, and then they ended up paying him, the running back position just seemed like it was like, hey, we can just find these guys whenever. I think
part
round.
of it is rookie contract kind of stuff, too, that you're getting the best of them. Now, they're not completely proven in the NFL, Matty, but you're not paying them that big, massive.
But nobody wanted to pay running backs hardly anything just a couple years ago. And I actually like where we're at now because I think these guys can be true difference makers if your team is ready for it. That's the other part, I think, too. If you've got the guys up front that can move people around, if you have whatever you feel like is good structure for your offense, dropping the running back in there can put you over the top as far as what your unit can do. I just think it's interesting, AR, that we're just back in now with this kind of running back wave and the positive vibes around that position.
If you're a three-phase running back, if you're that guy, you can make a big difference. Cincinnati has proven to me, I don't know when their defense will ever get to a point where I feel like they're winning because of it. Most of the time when they win, it's in spite of their defense. And they've always leaned into, right now, at least not publicly, that the best defense is great offense. And that's where they are. And we laughed at Detroit when they took Jahmyr Gibbs that high. And we looked at other teams when they drafted guys high, and we were like, and not every one of them works out. And it is a physically taxing position. These are the guys that get injured the most. So it's tough.
And what did Detroit do, AR? For the first few years of his career, they paired him with David Montgomery, right? They're just now, it looks like, getting to a situation where he is going to get that true workhorse running back, amount of touches and all those things. And they signed Pacheco, I believe, and so we'll see what he can bring. But he's kind of seems like fading away just a little bit. But I think they did a good job of, hey, right out of the gate, let's make sure on the back half of his rookie deal or new deal, whatever that's going to look like, is that now this guy can still be an effective player, which I think Gibbs will be, because obviously he's a true difference maker. The dude's special.
I think that's it. He is more special than most. And I'm not talking about drafting him at 4. And like I said, and I'll reserve the right to change if something happens with that board where somebody is available defensively that I didn't think would be there. But if he's there at 10, I guess you could question why he's there at 10. Why didn't those other teams go up and get him? What do they know that you don't? But if you believe in the comparison level of what he could mean to an offense like Bijan Robinson has, then you've got something. But for in the same sentence, you have, Breece Hall he's very good, but he hasn't turned to be the game breaker that everybody thought he'd be. Look what happened to Saquon when he finally got to a situation where he had that team around him that you're talking about.
I think those two situations, right, where you look at the Giants right out of the gate and you look at Brees these first couple of years.
Brees wasn't first round. I get that.
He came out of he had a pretty strong rookie year, right? Remembering that correctly, there was some good stuff that happened early on, but to your point, like the team success wasn't there. And so, like you mentioned, look, Saquon, where he's got
a lot of games. I don't think he played a lot of games early on. But.
So Saquon can go over to Philly, right? And they've got that massive offensive line. They've got, this team on offense and defense that's loaded. You drop him in there and you had that special season. And so if you're Cincinnati and let's say for whatever reason, we're living in this hypothetical world right now to where Bain and Bailey and Styles and Downs and all these guys that they've been attached to on the defensive side are gone.
That's what I'm saying.
And he falls to you at 10. Then it comes down to your evaluation of the other defensive prospects. And do you think they're worthy of their top 10 pick and the other draft capital that you have? And so the Bengals do have 8 picks this year. They do have a second and a third round pick. So there's still, I think, going to be valuable defensive players you can get there. And this wasn't a crazy good rushing attack last year for the Bengals. They were 29th in the league in rushing yards per game. So it needs something. I just don't know if that would be the responsible move to make. But sometimes doing the irresponsible thing can be fun.
It's not. It's just leaning into their identity and their window of opportunity. If I can't even imagine what level their passing game could get to if they had this guy running the football.
Oh my goodness, the defense just had to load up the box.
I don't even know what you would do. And they would love winning games, 41-38 if they could.
So what they've been doing.
What they've been doing. Right, that's what all I'm saying is this is who you are. Yeah. Now you could reverse it, and I don't want to be a hypocrite because I have said before. And that's why I'm telling you, this really depends on how this board falls. Because if Ruben Bain falls to 10 because of his short arms, I'm going to roll the dice and take him. I am. I think I've seen enough in college that I think he's relentless in his attack, and I think he makes up for that. And we've seen him do it. But so if he's at 10, I wouldn't take the running back. But I remember when we had this conversation about T. Higgins, and we had this, and I remember saying to you that you need to strengthen your weakness, not strengthen your strength. Like, you have such a glaring weakness defensively. I don't know how you're going to compete in this league long term without a defense that does some good things. It keeps you at least somewhat competitive in games. So, but when I started thinking about Jeremiah Love being there at 10 and people saying that this is the greatest player they've scouted in a long time. 4.36 40, powerful, breakaway speed, home run ability. It's hard to ignore that at 10.
He won't be there.
We prefaced it with that.
That's what I said. He won't be there.
That's part of why I maybe love him, because of the value. Like, if you're like, holy cow, he fell in our lap. No one went up to get him. Now I might question myself there, like, why didn't they? But if he's there at 10, wouldn't you be tempted?
Oh, 100%.
Do you think NFL teams do that? That they like a player up to a certain point, but then if the player actually falls to them, they start to question it, like, live in the moment? Or do you think they just all pull the trigger?
I think at that point, you've kind of run these guys through the gamut of the medicals and the interviews. Like, I think teams probably have similar information on all these guys. Like, I don't know if one team's going to have, hey, we just have a better doctor than your doctor, and we found this in his ankle or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, what do you think, AR?
I think they trust their scouts. I think that their big board's their big board, and if a guy's there, they're more happy he's there than questioning it. Yeah, I think they're like, oh, my God.
The board broke our way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think they're like, oh, we didn't think he'd be there, and now he's there. Now we're second-guessing ourselves. Right. I don't think the NFL does that.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, at 10, there's going to be a defensive addition to the team. They've had that momentum
most likely.
Right this offseason. Yeah. I think they're taking us inside their mind of, hey, just following their actions and what they've done, right? Whether it's Boye Mafe, Jonathan Allen, they added Kyle Duggar, I believe, and the safety from Kansas City. So they've brought in 4 to 5 different defensive players. No matter what happens and how this shakes out in the draft, whether it's an offensive player 10, defensive player 10, whatever it is, this is going to be a massive. I think one of the guys under the most pressure this year in this division is Shamar Stewart. This is the guy that can really close the gap on the elite defenses and where the Bengals have been towards the bottom and get them towards the middle. If that guy can go and be what he's supposed to be and pay off on that potential, because that's all it is, right? Because we talked a lot about that draft pick a year ago, is that he wasn't getting home a lot, or he was getting there, but there wasn't a lot of the closing of the deal there with getting to the quarterback to the ground. And so we've talked about Myles Murphy for the last couple of years. I think we kind of know what that is, right? He can maybe flash every once in a while. But Stewart is now the guy on this team that you can make a case that has the most pressure on him because they're in this win-now window, and they need him to be a special player.
Part of me believes that the Bengals would actually love to have somebody take Love before they really have to be tempted, because that's two things. One, you've just helped us with our own frustration about whether we should do it. And number two, and the more important part is, it will knock another defensive player down. Yeah. 100%. So it's almost like we won't really worry about this till he's there. Mm-hmm. If he is there, they would tout it as a great problem to have, whether we're picking Sonny Styles or Jeremiah Love. Yeah. That would go down as a great problem to have. But part of them, take the decision out of our hands, please.
And I agree with that. And I think Kansas City told us everything we needed to know about where Jeremiah Love's going to get drafted. Because for a while, they were, hey, if he gets the 9, Kansas City's going to be in. They go out and sign Kenneth Walker. So I think they knew or know behind the scenes that he's not falling to us. Somebody in that top 8 is going to get him. And so I don't think the Bengals are going to have to worry about this scenario.
We'll get Tyvis Powell's opinion on this in 2 minutes. Stay close. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM.
Spring is here, and there's no better place to make memories than the Columbus Zoo. See tigers up close, watch playful otters, and see the baby elephants in action. For a limited time, take advantage of our zoo after 2 p.m. deal. Plan your adventure at columbuszoo.org.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. As a longtime homeowner, I know how it goes when it comes to things that need to be fixed around the house and you just haven't gotten to them. Like maybe that leaky faucet that always has a drip. You think about it, but you never take care of it, and now it's just a part of the house. It's character. Maybe it's your windows that are always sticking and you can't get them open. So you just don't think about it. Who cares? Except now the weather's nice. You want to open the windows, and again, you can't because they're not fixed. Get new windows from Window Nation. They've made it easy to get top quality custom fit windows with their "the more you buy, the more you save" sale. You could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. Did you know investing in your home is actually one of the best investments you can make, especially in uncertain times? Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. Energy efficient, beautiful windows from Window Nation with great deals going on now. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's our man, Tyvis Powell. And usually he's in the booth next to us. But somebody let him out. And so now he's gone. We thought we'd have you in studio today, my man.
No, I'm only doing I only do like a 20-minute hit segment now. So once that's over with, boom, I'm gone. Because, AR, I got some events coming up. So next month, I'm talking to the Clippers about stealing. They're going to let me steal from first to second to see if the catcher can get me out. So I'm getting in shape because I got to get ready for this challenge. And then in June, as you know, at the Fan 5K, I'm running 40s against fans. So I got to make sure I drop that 446 home.
All right, okay, first of all, because I got a lot of questions. What workout are you doing right now? Because you seem a little out of breath.
I am not out of breath. I am currently walking on the treadmill. I did a leg workout today. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm ending the workout walking on the treadmill.
Okay, respect. Now let's get to you trying to steal a bag here. Is there going to be how many of it? All right. First of all, I know your confidence is through the roof, so I'm not going to ask a certain question because I know you feel like you're going to be safe all day and tomorrow. How many?
Yeah, no, you know what, Maddie? That's why I like you, because you don't ask rhetorical questions.
How many attempts are you getting here?
Oh, listen. So there's this great song by Eminem. It's called Lose Yourself. And at the beginning of the song, he say, if you got one opportunity, one shot to seize everything that you ever wanted, but you captured or let it slip, all I need is one. That's it. There ain't no do-overs. And we're going to do it. I want it to be like a live thing. I want it to be a first baseman. I want it to be a pitcher. I prefer Logan Allen, go guards, free passe. But I want it to be Logan Allen as the pitcher. I want it to be a catcher. I want it to be a second base.
You don't want it to be.
I want it to be so he could pick me off at first if I see it take too much, you know. I want it to be a real game situation. And then I'm going to just get to second base. And by the time the catcher get it to second base, I'm going to already be standing on the bags.
I think Logan Allen's a dicey call. Those lefties have a good pickoff move, T. That can get a little dicey. So you got to be careful with that, too.
Listen, Kenny Lofton taught me everything I need to know. We good.
Okay, there it is.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm rounding second, and I'm standing on three.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, so this is in like batting practice or something. You're going to just be out there, and there will be a pickoff. Like you're not starting from first. You're leading off. Like, give us the scenario. You get to lead off. If they pick you off, then you're done. Experiment over.
Correct. But we in the works right now. You know, this is something that I teased it on the UCSS, and I didn't know that McNuggets, Mike Lucas, our producer, was cool with the guy for the Clippers. So we done tweeted back and forth, and he texts me, and he we got to set this up. This got to happen.
Okay.
So we shooting for next month in May.
All right.
So I'm getting the body ready to go.
There's an art to this thing that isn't just speed, right? So you gotta.
Yeah, listen, Matty Ice, listen, okay. I don't tell you how to do radio, okay? Some things you just naturally gifted at, okay?
I'm just
baseball was really supposed to be my sport.
Okay.
It was too easy for me, so I wanted more of a challenge. So then I started playing football.
You do understand the fastest players in baseball get thrown out, right? Like it's not an automatic.
That's because they ain't never seen nobody like me. They might get thrown out, man. Right, they ain't got nothing to do. You comparing apples to oranges, they ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay. All right, cool.
Who knew we were working with the Ricky Henderson of the fan?
Listen, if Josh Naylor can steal successfully, I know I can.
That goes to my point. There's an art to it. It's not just speed. So you got to pick the right pitch to go on and everything. Listen, call me later. I'm gonna help you out. I'll help you out.
I think you're in big trouble.
Y'all saying ain't no way no catcher is gunning me out at second. I don't see it.
These are professionals. You know that, right?
I respect that and I salute that. But I'm just telling you right now, there is no way on God's green earth that this man is throwing me out at second. I'm too good for that.
When is the last time you've practiced a slide into a base?
My sophomore year of high school.
Oh, we got a lot of
You
work.
will be going head first?
I ain't going nothing. I'm going to be standing on the back by the time I get there.
This is you can't run that fast and be able to stop and stay on the bag. I don't
AR, I don't like disclosing this information because this is classified.
Okay. All right,
I'm gonna let you know something. Usain Bolt is a distant cousin of mine. You saying so? It's in my bloodline. I don't like to talk about it a lot, but he is a distant cousin of me.
Okay, those Jamaican roots, huh?
He's gonna get on. He's gonna get on first. Guy's gonna say, "Where are you going, meat?" He's gonna say, "About 90 feet."
I'm gonna tell you. See you later, sucker.
Do you think that if Jeremiah Love is available at 10, that Cincinnati will be tempted, and you would recommend that they decide to do it?
First of all, Jeremiah Love is there at 10. They ain't got no choice but to do it.
Yeah,
they got to do it. So a lot of people say that Jeremiah Love is the best player in this draft. Some people say that. So if that's the case, and he is the highest graded running back coming out, or third behind who? I think it's Bijan and Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, he is a for sure thing. You have to take that. You put that with that offense with Chase Brown. Plus, these offenses today that's more successful, they're running two running backs. There is no one running back anymore. You got to have two of these guys that can do a lot of good things. You see what Ben Johnson did with Chicago, with Kyle Monangai, and who was the lead back there? Swift. And then you see, obviously, what he did with the Lions. All these teams are doing that. You got to bring that rushing attack to this offense. Seems like the game is starting to go back to being able to run the ball and have good offensive line play.
The one team that
Cincinnati should do it.
Yeah, the one team that didn't do it, who had a great year, was James Cook. Like, they really don't have a top line second running back. Do they, Matty?
Yeah, I don't think Ty Johnson.
Something like that. Yeah. So, there's certain examples, but the workhouse guys eating 80-90% of the work, they're few and far between. Like Derrick Henry is obviously one of those guys too. So I'm assuming, Tyvis, in your opinion, if he's there at 6, you want the Browns to do the same thing.
I do. Okay. I have no problem with it. I think the Browns need to go back to the traditional Brown style, run the ball. I mean, be able to run the ball. If you have Fedor Sanders, a young quarterback, then you need to be able to help him out. A good thing to help a young quarterback is a good run game. Now we can actually run play action and make these linebackers have to respect it. Now we can throw the over routes to an Isaiah Bond or a Jerry Jeudy. We can hit them on them dig routes. That's where the game is won. A lot of times it's inside the hashes. I know we get so enamored with speed and the deep ball and all that, but a lot of the game is played inside the hashes, over intermediate routes, and the best way to get them linebackers to commit, have a running back that they respect.
Okay. I'm you know what? I mean, the more we talked about it, the more I was convincing myself that the Bengals, if he's there at 10, I said to Maddie, it's just a value. I know. And by the way, that might help them, save them from themselves a little bit, where they wouldn't have to make that decision. But I surprised Maddie, because the value just won me over if he were to drop. I'd question a little bit about why he did, but I don't think that would prevent me from taking him.
Yeah, if your team doctors checked him out and approved of everything, and you see the tape, there's no denying.
Yeah, he's a dude. I'm turning you into Andrew Berry for this hypothetical right here. Browns are on the clock at 6. Both Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Love are there. GM Powell, who are you taking?
I'm taking Jeremiah Love, and then I'm taking one of the other receivers later on in the draft. For the simple fact that I think the drop-off from running back 1 to running back 2 is bigger than wide receiver 1 to wide receiver 2, 3, 4, 5, et cetera. I think you could find a guy at 24 that's still in the draft, Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper Jr. Those guys can come in and contribute right away as well. You know, they might not have the polish that the other guys got, but these guys are also playmakers. For running back 1 to running back 2, I just think it's a big-time drop-off.
T, let me wrap it up with this. And I'm going to bring something to the table that I want to know whether, I know you're dripping with confidence. It may not matter, but I want to bring something to your attention. That in Major League Baseball or any professional baseball, guys steal probably 10% of the time when they get to first base. You're taking that out. You're taking that secret weapon of whether he will or he won't out of the equation. They know you're stealing. That's the difference. If I got to first base in a real game, there's 10% chance I'm going unless we're desperate. You have now taken that out of it.
Hey, two things. One, I didn't say I have to steal. It could be a batter up there. The batter might hit a gap play, and I might round second and go third. That's one thing. Two, I don't care if they know it or not. Can you stop it? See, the thing about me is, it's like playing football. You can know I'm going through the A gap. Can you stop me from getting to that A gap? Don't matter to me. They can know. I'm going to tell them that I'm going. I'm going to yell at them on my way out if I'm leaving to go to second. So he better throw a fastball.
All right. I didn't know this was like a simulated game. I thought it was just, we throw you on first, you take your lead, and then you decide when you go, how many throwovers they get. Maybe you could limit the pitcher to,
I want him to do that too.
Okay.
Go ahead and throw it over. Let me get back.
All right.
This is going to be must-see TV.
Either way, I agree.
Listen, once I get done, I want a 10-day contract. Bench runner.
Oh, outstanding. All right. We'll be looking forward to it.
I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Go Bucks, go guards, free Clase, take Ortiz. Guards is fine. Hey, they're playing right now.
Down 1-0. Down 1-0.
Freezing up there.
Don't tell me that. That's bad. Yeah, we're going to be all right, though. Go Cavs. Go Jackets tonight. Got to get this one against Detroit so we can make it to the playoffs.
I'm with you, man. Be well. Talk to you soon.
See y'all.
All right, there you go. Oh,
I just confident, man, to say the least. I think he's cooked.
You were pretty close, AR.
What's that?
I got 6.4% so far this baseball season on stolen base opportunities.
Guys that take
except the only data that I have is both stealing second and stealing third as opportunities.
Do you have a percentage of success rate so far? Of that 6% that are taken off?
77%.
All right, that's higher than I thought.
Pretty good. I think he's cooked.
I think he's
absolutely cooked.
I think the best he can hope for is to maybe get into a rundown and maybe evade that for 10 seconds.
And that's not a win for him.
And
that's not the job. Yeah.
If we had a poll, out, safe, rundown, dead meat, like the bottom two are going to...
Fielder's choice.
Yeah. He really lost me, too, when he said that he hasn't slid into a base since his sophomore year of high school.
He's not sliding.
He's going to have to.
I agree.
He's going to have to.
Is he wearing baseball pants?
I would hope.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's got to have cleats.
He can't do it in shorts. I think that needs to be a factor in this, too. No shorts allowed. Got to have baseball pants on.
All right, we're coming back with a Buckeye Bulletin. This may be the ultimate anti-Buckeye mock that TLC found. We'll tell you next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. You know the savings are so good. Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes. GLakesHyundai.com.
Hey folks, it's Jeremy Birmingham. Berm here from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. After hitting maintenance with Awaken 180, I kind of thought that was the whole deal. All right, cool. Don't be an idiot now. Don't gain it back. Stay under 200 pounds. That was the win. But then maintenance did something I really didn't expect. I lost another 5 pounds for free. I'm now down 40 pounds, further under 200, and that's the part about Awaken 180 that still cracks me up a little bit. Because people hear maintenance and think it means barely hanging on, eating celery in the dark and trying not to blow it. That's not this. I'm eating pizza. I can have ice cream. I'm living like a normal person. The difference is I'm not fighting myself all day, or if I'm wondering what one weekend away from the plan could ruin the whole thing. Awaken 180 just didn't help me lose the weight. It taught me how to live in a way where I'm not headed right back to where I started. The last 5 pounds in free maintenance, that tells you everything. Awaken180weightloss.com. Go there now and give it a chance and see how it can help you take control of your life and your health the way it did for me. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL, 614-962-7355, or selltohometeam.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, the new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Tyvis Powell is a contradiction. He'll police the food you have on your plate and shame you into dieting. Also, he has a burner Uber Eats account so his wife doesn't know what he's eating. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings at 6.
The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Save up to 50% on new windows from windownation.com.
All right, we've just been debating whether or not the Buckeyes could go all four in the top 10. We've done that for about a month now. And I think, and then when I told you guys what would be even cooler, and this would most likely never happen, is they went back to back to back to back.
Okay.
That's a little too far-fetched, but that's my whole Ford versus Ferrari theory. Like, let's line them up. But, and we also debated if there was one, if one of the four isn't drafted in the top 10, which one would that be? I think we're all different.
I had Carnell.
You had Carnell, I had Sonny, and I had Caleb. All right. So now, the ultimate anti-Buckeye mock
who made
is
this?
out. He didn't do that on purpose. I'm just saying the results speak for themselves.
Okay.
It comes to us from one Peter Schrager.
All right.
Okay.
I would not have even mentioned this if it were somebody who we've never heard of before. But Peter Schrager's on ESPN all the time. So I stumbled upon this, and we can go down the line a little bit. First of all, okay, Mendoza, number one of the Raiders, blah, blah, blah.
Real quick, sorry to cut you off. Just news out there. He's not coming to the draft. He'll be in Miami. Mendoza.
Yes.
So good for him.
I wonder why.
He's from Miami, right?
Yeah, no, I know that, but
the whole fan, I'm assuming
you're
it's
a foregone conclusion to be number one. Now, this goes into his personality. Like, he's an interesting cat. But if we knew you're being drafted one overall.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, I think the emotional part can kick in. All your homies from high school, like you grew up with people and all that. Like, you want to celebrate that together.
Steel City.
And it's also like, hey, you want to have your day in Miami or Pittsburgh? I know what I'm picking. I want to celebrate in Miami with my people.
He wins a Heisman Trophy, and now he's Mr. Hollywood. There are only certain cities that'll tolerate. He calls us flyover country now.
I mean, I want to give him a little credit for this. A lot of guys do this, right? Like, this is kind of not becoming the norm but
Trevor, this is the first number one pick since Trevor Lawrence.
I'm not saying
it doesn't happen often at number one.
I didn't mean number ones. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about prospects in general that are like, hey, I'm going to stay home and not really go to the draft. You know, it doesn't seem like it's a must-have for all these guys now. But I hear what you guys are saying for sure.
All right, number 2. This is where it's slightly anti-Buckeye. This isn't unheard of, but Peter Schrager has David Bailey going number 2, which puts Arvell Reese number 3 to the Cardinals. Arvell Reese is definitely the majority favorite to go number 2, but it's not exactly unheard of for David Bailey to leapfrog him there, especially after the combine. People like David Bailey there.
And he's a little more of a traditional sack guy. Like, he's not.
You know what he is. Right, like
That's
right
right.
now, you
That's
know,
right.
you know what he is. The Arvell thing is, we're betting on what we saw this year. There seems to be like a vibe around Arvell's ceiling maybe being a little higher than, let's say, a David Bailey or a Bain. But, you're coming off a year for David Bailey where he was one of the top sack artists in college football, right? And so you know what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right, then we got.
All right, so that's not anti-mock, Buckeye mock there yet.
No.
I agree.
That's not going to count for me yet.
Yeah, so then at number 4, we have Jeremiah Love. A lot of people have Tennessee taking him there. You better have a good offensive line. Number 5, this one with the Giants at 5. This is where you can kind of spin the wheel on Buckeyes on which one is going to go there, except he actually has Francis Maui-Noah, the right tackle from Miami, going there, which then takes us to 6 to the Cleveland Browns. Okay, where are we at? We've had the Carnell Tate discussions there. You need O-line, you need a receiver. Do you go receiver, then O-line later at 24? Do you go Carnell Tate at 6 and then go O-line at 24? What you going to do? He has Spencer Fano, the right tackle from Utah, going number 6. So we now make it to number 7, where the second Buckeye comes off the board, which is Sonny Styles. So a lot of mock drafts do not have the second Buckeye falling all the way to 7. Misdemeanor or felony?
Misdemeanor.
Probably a misdemeanor.
Yeah, misdemeanor.
I can't quite get to full-blown felony based on safety's not a position that usually is thought of that high. And that's when I speak about Caleb. Carnell Tate. There are some other good receivers that are available still. I don't know if anybody they're not looking at him as a reach, but maybe they look at it a little more of a luxury and he's not a big receiver, although he's very effective. So, yeah, I'm with Maddie. We'll go misdemeanor on that.
All right, number 8 is the Saints. They are taking Ruben Bain, and according to Peter Schrager. That's not the worst thing in the world. And number 9, Kansas City, who needs a receiver, goes Jordan Tyson, who Daniel Jeremiah is not a fan of.
What did DJ say? Because of the injuries with Tyson? Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah. Well, who was? I think when we talked to Tyvus a couple of weeks ago, he liked another receiver outside of Carnell Tate.
Lemon.
Yeah. He wasn't sold that had to be.
It's all fit too, right? Like what you need in your offense, like you don't want. We talked about it yesterday with the Jets and Carnell. Can the skill sets play off of each other and all of that? It's just all about what you envision for your guy and how he can help you out right away. You don't want to have, I think, the same guy doing the same thing within your wide receiver room all the time.
That one's a little weird for me, only because Tyson's had an injury history. He's no taller than Carnell. He's a little bigger, but not much. Like, that one's a little surprising to me, but not a ton. But are we getting to the point where you're going to tell me that there's only one Buckeye in the top 10?
No, because we had Sonny as well.
I'm Sonny with Arvell, so only 2. Yeah, 2 of the 4. Yeah.
But it is only 2 because Mansour Delane goes 10 to the Bengals, not Caleb Downs. So we have Carnell Tate going 11 to Miami and Caleb Downs going 12 to Dallas.
I mean, whenever you can get a guy that's viewed as a shutdown guy, it's not the worst pick in the world, right? Like, you're picking between a safety and a corner. But if you have
Cincinnati, they need all the defensive help.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm not going to kill him for that.
Right.
But, all right, but you were right to say that, because that's the first mock we've seen that hasn't had at least 3.
In the top 10?
Yeah.
All
right, so 2 made it. So they would be just outside the top 10. All right. You got my boy Carp in the wings. He's in the green. Oh, he's in the green room.
Suited and booted today.
He's ready to walk the green mile. We'll have him next in studio. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Numerous Freeman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raisetheroof. 10tv.com/raisetheroof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
When you see a Gravely mowing the grass, you're looking at over 100 years of ingenuity in action. You're seeing a rugged, durable machine professional lawn service companies have relied on for generations. Or maybe you see a homeowner who demands the best, cutting their own lawn like the pros, whether mowing or on a trailer between jobs. When you see a Gravely, you're seeing greatness at work. Take your lawn mowing up a notch with a Gravely. See the full line at your local dealer.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Spring is a great time to open your windows and wait. Your windows won't open? They leak, they're cracked, or maybe they need repainting? Again? Getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation is both easy and affordable. During the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off. Plus, you could get them with zero interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. So visit windownation.com to book your consultation now.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good
afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Up at Progressive Field, they're in the top of the fourth inning, and the Kansas City Royals have a 1-0 lead over the Cleveland Guardians. Carter Jansen, a solo home run in that one. The Cincinnati Reds have won 4 straight. They're down in Miami to face the Marlins at 6:40. Andrew Abbott will get the start for the Reds. Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. Coverage over on the Fans HD3 begins at 6:10. That is on the HD3 because over on the Fan 2 tonight, 5:55 start, the Ohio State baseball team battling Bowling Green. There's a lot on the line in Detroit as the Columbus Blue Jackets face the Red Wings at 7 this evening. The CBJ and the Wings are tied with 88 points, 2 points out of a playoff spot. Jet Greaves gets the start in goal. Pregame coverage on the Fan begins at 6:30. This one's sponsored by Green & Sons. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville, or greenandsons.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program, and we've got our man, Bobby Carpenter, in studio, dressed for success. Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you. That's success. That's a loose term, but we're maintaining.
Okay. I'm glad to see you. You just heard Pete Schrager put out a mock draft. Listen, this is an insult to say that 4 Buckeyes could go in the top 12. That's
that buries the lead. It's like there's only 2 in the top 10, and then I'm looking over the Drop King's shoulder over there, and it's like, all right, 11 is Cardinal Tate and 12 is Caleb Downs, which Bodie would be really happy if Dallas got Caleb.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they'd be happy if any of those 4 guys were there at 12.
Defense. Oh, he wants any of the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't really need Tate.
Yeah.
They did that. They could let what's his name? Pickens walk. But
AR brought up an interesting point though about that the other day. Like if this thing with Pickens, the negotiation process doesn't go, and just say, hey, maybe flip him for something
you could
in the
flip
season,
him, or like you can let him walk and you'll get a 3rd round supplemental the next year. So if someone's like, wow, we don't want to pay him and do all this, if you can't get more than a second, it's like, all right, well, you go do what you want to do. We'll let you walk, and we'll get a 3rd round supplemental next year.
We also had the conversation, this running back specifically, Jeremiah Love, is the coveted piece here.
Yep.
And we both think that he'll be gone somewhere in the top 6.
6, 7, somewhere in there.
I mean, I've talked to people that believe he's the best offensive player in the draft.
Yeah.
Like non-QB. And so
what if your needs are so slanted defensively? Do you have the luxury?
Cincinnati?
Well, in a world where he's there at 10,
I think you take him.
Yep, I did too.
You take best player available.
What if it's this? What if it's Jeremiah and Sonny on the board?
I think that you probably have a number. And if you power rank that draft, and you're telling me that you're at 10 and you have a chance to get what you think is maybe the 2nd best player, I think you take the unless it's like, hey, the 3rd guy we had was Sonny,
right?
And we could maybe use him. But I think if there's any type of disparity, you want to draft for need, but when need's appropriate to what your value system is.
I'm with you.
And everybody values guys differently. And some teams may not have Jeremiah Love. I believe he's really stinking good and is like a Bijan Robinson. Like he's a guy that he's a home run hitter at running back. And he's also an every down guy. And so I don't know, is it Allen Iverson? My offense is my defense is my offense. Offense is my defense, one of the two. Maybe that's it. My offense is my defense.
That's what I said to him. Imagine what that passing game could get to, knowing if the Bengals had Love.
Yeah, you have any running game.
You wouldn't know what to do.
Well, and you can burn clock. You can possess the ball longer. Like your defense, here's one of the other things that makes your defense better, is if teams have to be one-dimensional because you can score a bazillion points.
Yeah.
That's what the Colts built their team with Peyton Manning, that they were going to go out there and score points on you and get a lead, and then you're going to have to pass. And their defense wasn't very big, but they were fast. And so we'll get you on the turf. We're going to go score 40 a game. You try to keep up and see if we can get sacks. Now, teams that beat them, possessed the ball, got them off the field, wore their defense down, and then they flipped the script. But not everybody could do that.
And when it comes to Love, too, like there's a little narrative out there that you can just find good running backs whenever. Like that's not really the case. Like the elite guys in the NFL, like these guys first, second round picks. And so if that did happen for Cincinnati, you drop him in there, then you're just talking about just as dangerous of an offense as you can find in the sport.
People will say, well, what's the life expectancy of his career expectancy? Dude, who cares after 5 years? Like, we'll figure it out then. If we need to call Rothman in to put the tag on him, we'll have him come down 71 5 years from now, and he can slap the tag on him.
Especially when you're a team that's ready, and knows that if we get anything from our defense, anything from them, we can be a team that makes a whole bunch of noise in the playoffs.
And you can start going defense second. This is the deepest edge class in for drafts in a long time. So you can circle back and get a defensive end or something.
They've got 8 picks, Cincinnati does. They've got their second and third.
You've got some stuff in there to be able to make some moves.
Here's why this comes up a lot, Maddie. And I'm with you that things have maybe changed for the running back. But the top 5 or top 6 running backs in this league were not first-round picks. James Cook, Derrick Henry.
But those are second-round picks, though.
I know,
what I'm saying.
But we're talking about a guy in the top 5. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, I guess, there was this narrative out there for years, right, that you can get 80% of some of these guys in the 5th or 6th round. I just don't think that's the case.
What was Christian McCaffrey, 7?
McCaffrey was
8.
Yeah.
First pick, though,
How was he on that?
Yeah. I think he was
8? Yeah.
First pick in
the 8th round?
I think so, yeah.
What?
Who?
Christian McCaffrey. Did you have a stroke over there?
No, 8th pick.
In
the first round.
Pick.
I'm sorry.
Fournette
I'm looking at you. I'm hearing him.
Fournette went 4th and McCaffrey went 8th.
Yeah. And so one didn't work out as well. Christian McCaffrey, you would argue, is kind of what you want. And if you think that he's a Christian McCaffrey-esque guy, then that kind of changes the...
Devon Achane was 3rd round.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, obviously, pick 8 like McCaffrey was. Jonathan Taylor.
He was first round. Later,
2nd round. He was pick 41.
Edwards-Helaire went 1st round.
Yeah. So there's some that
Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
5th round.
I was going to say.
That's the outlier, though.
But the outliers were all in the top 5 of the league this year.
No, but I'm talking about Bijan, Saquon. These are all 1st and 2nd round picks. You got to use some pretty significant draft capital to get these guys.
The question becomes do you think he is a Saquon Barkley, a Christian McCaffrey-esque player that is worthy of that, or is he someone that you could probably get, picks 25 to 50? But the guys that have been really good, and then that's on your assessment of it, of what you believe he is, and kind of where you're at a little bit. I mean, it'd be nice if they could just luxury best available, and you have other needs. But if you think that he is that type of a changer, I think you do go with it.
You think Tennessee's ready for him? Because there's a lot of that out there right now that, they're in on Jeremiah Love. A lot of, it's just mocks and opinions and all that stuff. I get that. But it seems to be that team right now that's attached to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to get your offensive line better a little bit first. I mean, got a young quarterback. They've got a lot of things. I think they just take best available. If he's there, I think you take. It's whatever they believe their assessments are on these guys. Because every team is a little bit different of how they rank them. But you just got to go best available, I think, especially if you're a team like that.
It's tough to try to know. You could tell us how much spring ball affects a team in the fall, how much of these practices will really show itself this fall.
Well, we'll go to the Play-Doh cliche factory. Yeah. You can't win a title in April, but you sure can lose one, Rothman.
Well, you could only lose it if all your great players got injured.
I think if you don't get the work out of it you need, and now I would say it's more important than maybe ever. It's maybe not as much development. The young guys it is, but you also had 25 guys that came in from somewhere else. So it's also heavy level scheme introduction of trying to figure out exactly what these guys do well and how to kind of build things around them. If you're a good coach, some guys say, all right, we got it. We're going to plug and play and let's go. But trying to figure out what the difference between Little and Downs is playing safety. They're both really good players, but there are some nuances and differences of how they play the game. And so how do we put these guys in the very best situation to be able to have them succeed and knowing what maybe some of those differences are?
And by the looks of it, last year, it just seems like, to your point about the teaching, is that's something Patricia did really well last year and will continue to do, right?
He's a really good teacher.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching walkthrough today and talking through the stuff with them and just seeing how he explains things to guys and trying to teach football as overall concepts. And for young guys, that's really hard because what they want to do is say, I want to memorize what I do, and that's important, instead of saying, this is what we're doing, and this is why I'm doing this, like as a function of the whole unit, because we're trying to get something done. Like what are we trying to achieve with this call? And then, what's the goals of it? And then as you move forward, like learning that and kind of learning the jobs around you. And that's really good at saying, this is why we call this. These are families. This is grouped together. These are similarities of kind of how these things overlap.
You want to stick around?
Yeah, we'll do one.
All right, cool. Because I want to ask you about a couple of battles over there this spring and if they truly exist. We'll do that next with our guy Bobby Carpenter in studio. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Every time you pull onto a job site, your name pulls in with you. That's why the pros trust Bobcat equipment. Buy the machine you're proud to run, backed by the crew that's been serving the industry since 1975. That's 50 years of showing up, long after you receive the keys. Bobcat Enterprises is here for you with 9 locations serving Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. On every job, you deserve a team that stands behind you. Visit bobcatent.com to learn more.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
John's Garage Door, John's Garage Door. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you, and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
John's Garage Doors, John's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment means you could miss everything happening around you. Don't let those few seconds take your attention away from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine today, but you'll need that jacket. Highs only getting into the mid to upper 40s across central Ohio. And then for tonight, clear skies with lows into the 20s. Widespread frost develops overnight into Wednesday morning, otherwise turning sunny with daytime highs milder, getting into the mid to low 60s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, our guy Bobby Carpenter in studio as always. This time of the week, Bob. We don't know what we're going to actually see in the spring game. I don't know how many guys are going to actually.
That's a beautiful mystery.
It is, because I'd love to see, like, these corners lined up against the top receivers and see who can win some of those battles. Is Sanchez going to take a leap? Is he going to be the other guy?
He's playing well.
Yeah, he is, and I think
it's tough when you're getting compared going against Jeremiah every day. And I'm like,
right. But if you win a couple of those,
that's my point. You're going to take some losses. He is playing well. He's a very conscientious kid who's got great ability. And when you have those two things, development happens.
Is there any battle that you think can be won this spring? Or is it just you take the lead into the offseason?
I don't think they're defining anything this spring. You'll have an idea, and I think that they want to start, sketching out some broad strokes of what it's going to look like. But you didn't have Padilla playing on the offensive line. Now you're down with Austin, Cerebell and Phillip Daniels both out. No, that isn't the biggest thing, but you do get to now, and you're already getting some look at Ian Moore at tackle. You get an extended look at him at tackle. Hopefully Gabe's back. You're feeling good at guard, and you'll be able to get a chance of those guys because I think you can play Austin at guard. I think they're pretty confident in that. The question is, does Gabe play better to keep Austin over at tackle, or does Ian play better? Do you move Austin to guard?
Bob, how are the other quarterbacks looking? Like, we know what maybe we don't know because maybe there's going to be added elements to his games by the sound of what they want from him this year, maybe with extending plays. But the other guys in that quarterback room and how they're spinning it right now, what are your thoughts on that?
So here's the one problem. As the offensive line gets decimated, it just muddies the water. And I feel like this happens almost every spring for the guy whoever's running with the 2s and 3s. It's just he has progress that needs to be made, and he's making it. Like he's got a great arm. You can see him processing things a little bit better as the more he sees stuff. But it's really hard because the picture of the rush in front of him is super cloudy because you're down now. You're
some of your top guys for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Padilla's not out. So 3 of your top 8 guys, 9 guys aren't in there. And I feel like there's always a bigger drop from first offensive line to second than there is first D line to second D line. And so you're probably getting to see a little bit of that now.
The running back room is depleted as well, but we've heard about the legend that is Legend Bay.
He's been out with a little nicked up deal. Yeah, what did Ryan say? What it was?
Not exactly, I don't believe.
Yeah, so he's been out a little bit. He'll be fine and be back. But the most important ability is availability. They've seen him do some stuff. I think they're very excited about what he can bring to the table. But with that, we've got to see you out there. To want to build around you and be able to put some package things in, you've got to be available. And it's what's really hard about this.
You're probably pretty excited about to see this linebacker room kind of evolve. It has to. Yeah, you lose our recent Sonny Styles, so.
Now James has to go to work.
Right.
You and me could have coached those guys. That's what I told Fick when we all left. And we had James and Marcus there. Now you got to actually do some work. But
competition's good, though.
It is. I think Peyton's looked really good, and he played a ton last year. I mean, he made a lot of plays as it was. But then you start looking around. They brought in Christian Allegro. You've got TJ Ford. Both those guys have looked good. Garrett Stover's made some plays. The 2 other, you got Eli in there. He's looked good.
Sincere Johnson.
Call him JJ. There's a lot of nicknames going on and number changes. So, and he has looked good, and he's very explosive, very fast. Your first year is hard. You're swimming right now trying to get all that done. And then also, Riley Pettijohn has been out. And so the guys that are in there, I like. I think Christian and TJ have looked really good. kind of probably doing a little more like what Arvell did. There's taller, longer body types. And then, Peyton has been really good in the middle. Stove stepped up a lot. And you've had some guys who've been nicked up. You miss a practice here and there. And it's tough to kind of stay in rhythm to be able to get, keep playing and be able to do that. But it's going to be a fun room. And I asked James, just trying to package them all together is what can be tough when you start looking at that.
Talk about Cortez Hankton, him coming in right for Heartline, and Heartline obviously just a tremendous job here at Columbus as the receiver coach. But now he comes in.
Call him the Conquistador, Rothman. Cortez.
That's right. But just his coaching style, getting to know him so far, what's he been bringing to the table?
He's been challenging those guys, and I think there's a feeling that there's going to be more guys that play a lot. So if you're worthy of getting on the field, you're going to get out there. The one emphasis he said, I want to see our guys be able to run with the football. You catch it, now go be a running back. Go make someone miss. Go run through somebody. And you fall in love. And maybe part of that is maybe getting some more short and intermediate routes in there where you can catch and run with it. And we fall in love with, Carnell and JJ. First-round guys go over the top. Well, you know what? If you catch it for 10 and run for 30, it's the same as catching it for 30 and running for 10. I mean, the yards are all the same.
Yeah. Jeremiah mentioned that one element that the offense was missing last year was that the yak. He kind of threw out the comment that they thought maybe they were one of the worst in the country. But you're right. You're talking about, hey, we want to be able to hit the home runs, but we can hit some singles and doubles too and be an effective offense too.
Why does Baker Mayfield need to figure out his beef with Kevin Stefanski?
I saw that.
Why would Todd Bowles say that? Did he mean it as that they just have to settle the score on the field?
Let's go out there, you and me.
I think that's what that means, not figure it out.
Well,
I think he wants it. That's why I think he wants maybe a natural ending to this feud, and it can only be solved on the field. I think that's probably where he's going with it.
Does he want those guys to sit down and I don't think I love that we got some static between two parties here. I'm here for this. When two coaches don't like each other or a quarterback and a head coach, I think it's fine. I don't think they need to settle the score or become friends now. There's clearly some dislike from Baker's side.
I think he meant that now we get to settle it. He's in the division.
Okay, I like that then.
Yeah,
Twice a year.
Yeah.
Our place, your place. By the way, you have hot sauce and raspberries.
Oh, yeah, because I'll eat a little, rotisserie chicken throughout the protein, and that's what that's for.
Okay.
And the raspberries is for, little sugar rush every once. Natural sugar rush.
I'm with you. I just was looking at the raspberries and the hot sauce.
Snozzberries.
Yeah, the Cholula chili garlic hot sauce. Shout out to Cholula.
They don't go together.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
It's good.
All right. What else is on your mind?
I don't know, man. You know what I love is my journey with my guy, Bodie Wells, Jacob, if you will, on his journey through Westeros in Game of Thrones.
Phenomenal.
He's about halfway through season 3, so we've got some big events that are about to unfold for him. And I was just reading through the list, and now I send him these little things about stuff that I see it pop up in my feed. But I want to make sure that I was I need to know where you are because I don't want to give anything away. Because he's like, Theon, he got caught. Now he's held. They kind of escaped, but then they brought him back.
So he doesn't know who Reek is yet.
Oh no, he hasn't even really been introduced to Ramsey. He knows that I know that that's the guy we know, but he doesn't really know. He's still at the point where Joffrey's still in charge and him and Marjorie are getting married.
Yeah.
And it's he's like, he just shot the one girl with the crossbow, and I'm like, too much pain will spoil their pleasure, sir. My lord, whatever.
I remember saying to both you guys that Theon was the comeback player of the year.
I told him, Theon, you'll go on a full trail. And Rothman has always called him the comeback player of the year.
He really was, though. He really was.
We Spaniards know the sickness of the heart can only be cured with gold.
Did we run our kiss cam scenario by you last week? Did you catch any of that?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember.
Because I heard
so many
Ian
people.
and Amber talking about it. Ian was talking about it that night that you guys brought up the day before I came in.
It was automatic. Everyone we've ever asked has said, you got to
win.
You got to go.
Oh, I even asked Nicole Sheeran for 10 TV. She was like, yeah, she would just want the guy to just go in.
We did it was a bit this morning. We brought up, I don't know how we even got to this. Someone said Post. I go, Post Malone. I did the before and afters. It was something Post, and I go, something Post Malone, before and after. And then Thidoff brought up something about rappers and about, I don't even know how we got to this. And he referenced that he was black. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. And Bodie was like, hold on a second. Post Malone is a white guy. And then so he played the game. He's like, well, how would I know that? He's like, well, because you can see him. And so Bodie played a game and pulled up. He had like different white rappers and Thidoff to see if he knew who they were.
Like MGK and Jack Harlow.
I thought you meant you played clips for him and he had to say, is he white or is he
held up pictures and he was like, it was a great little bit. Like he put up Jack Harlow, like, there's zero chance that I've knows who that guy is. Now he put up Eminem, I'm like, okay, you're gonna get him. But it was really, really pretty fun. He put up Post Malone, no idea. Yeah. I don't know how we got, because Post Malone's a Cowboys fan, and that's, I don't know, we're with Bodie and Cowboys. But it was a great little deal.
Where were you both on whether it's just bad luck for Luka to hit game 64 and not be able to be eligible for MVP?
He also had a couple of games he had to sit for his technical allowance that he got as well.
I said it to Maddie.
I'm not knocking. I don't want to knock a guy though for the birth of his daughter for missing games for that. That shouldn't be baked into this thing.
I'm not baking those in, but I will say this. He got 15 technicals in 64 games. That's about one every 4 games. If you told me that I was going to get like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for yelling at a ref or doing something nonsensical, I'm not talking like tough. And so 1 out of every 4 games, Matt, you have to admit this is a lot.
I just completely disagree with this rule now. That it's just
what it was. Quit sitting out.
What it was set up to do was to eliminate load management. We're now knocking guys for injuries.
I get that.
I don't like.
I also think it also eliminates short sample for being
but they're voting on it anyway, and that's what Bodie's argument was. He's like, people are voting on it. There's 100 people that vote. They should be able to determine if what's the difference between playing 50 and 65. Is that enough? I don't know.
I like when you guys were talking about it, and Thidoff was like, I'm hearing and. Where are you hearing this? Off your television?
Yes.
Got people in the streets, man.
I'm hearing.
I call him.
When did you cover the Lakers?
I call him on it.
It was awesome.
Him and Wendy were texting the other day.
I'm hearing. All right, pal. Good to see you again.
Man. Dom's looking for you. He was looking through the glass. He's ready for you.
All right, we're coming back with 2 minutes with our friend Adam Jardy. Are they really in on a big-time transfer point guard? We'll tell you next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save big on this family favorite. USDA Choice bone-in rib roasts are on sale now for just $8.99 a pound with your card. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Bo Bishop here. Picture this. Windows down, the beautiful countryside rolling by, the kids laughing in the back, and nowhere you have to be but wherever the road takes you. That's RV life. Find yours at RCD RV. 3 locations in Central Ohio or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house. It's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, so maybe the final layer of pressure and final just feel of the season with Michigan ending the drought for the Big Ten and being obviously Ohio State's biggest rival and climbing the mountain and planting the flag in basketball is something that will continue to keep the fires burning here in Columbus, hopefully. And this transitional year is going to be interesting because of the Devin Royal going into the portal and, of course, Bruce being gone, and then the ascent of Bynum and Junie and what they can piece around it is going to be very interesting to see if they can truly keep taking a step, because they do feel like they have a little bit of momentum in the program. But as we've talked about, this is year to year, depending on who you can get in the portal and who's sticking around. Our friend Adam Jardy, always on the inside covering this team for the Columbus Dispatch. He's with us now on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fangast Hotline. Adam, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. How are we doing today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. You know, this is one of those things that I look at Ohio State basketball and I want to believe that they took a step. I want to believe there's some momentum. And then Jake talked about retention being the top priority. And then Devin Royal hits the portal. But I kind of connect the dots in that I guess if they felt like they really wanted to invest in Devin Royal, a guy that's been in the program several years, going to be a senior, maybe thinking I'm entitled, this is going to be my turn now to reap the benefits, and they went the other way. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, first thought is that it's a two-way street, and it's not just, hey, you know, we're moving in a certain direction, but also that player can also say, hey, I'm moving in a certain direction too. And so this isn't just a black and white, you know, one side says this and the other side goes with it. It kind of takes both sides there. This is something that was not a surprise and had been kind of percolating for a little while. And I think when you look at this roster as there's not a whole lot of players on it right now, but you do look at who they know they will have next year. And I mean, we all saw what Amari Bynum did as the season went on. And I think we can all agree that ceiling is pretty high and continues to get more enticing. And then you're bringing in a McDonald's All-American and the highest rated recruit in decades, 10, 15 years for Ohio State, and Anthony Thompson. Both those guys are going to play significant roles on this team next year. And so from a production standpoint and a reliability standpoint, they saw more from Amari Bynum as the season went on than Devin Royal. And I think Devin saw that as well.
You mentioned Anthony Thompson, Adam, for the folks that aren't in the high school basketball world, that just aren't into the rankings or the ratings or whatever you want to call it, talk about what you think or they think they're getting from him as a player and maybe the impact he could have right away.
Well, he's a future lottery pick. He's a guy that this time next year we're going to be talking about where he'll be going in that category of the NBA draft. He's the highest rated recruit for Ohio State since Jared Sullinger. He's their first McDonald's All-American since D'Angelo Russell. He's a guy that's going to come in and have an immediate impact. He is young for his grade. He won't turn 18 until sometime during the season. But he's a guy that one of the highest rated players come out of Ohio in some time. Is going to have every opportunity to be a face of the program type of guy, and a guy who projects to be a one and done, who's going to have a significant role in whatever this team does next season.
Adam, their needs are veteran point guard, big man, center type situation. Where are they on those two things, do you feel? I saw some news that they were already maybe swinging in the point guard area.
Yeah, I mean, they're early in the process at all those spots. I mean, technically you can't really be recruiting these guys until today when the portal opened. So, I do think things will start to ramp up here in the next couple of days. Probably some visits before too much longer. The portal's only open for 2 weeks, and obviously you can commit sometime after that, anytime after that. But, it's going to be a really busy, frenetic couple of days here. Yes, they've made some early inroads with a couple of guys, and, they're certainly assembling that list of who they're targeting. But, when you talk about starting off with John Mobley Jr., Amari Bynum, and Anthony Thompson, yeah, you need a point guard that can help run things, and you need a guy who's going to come in and not just be a dude. You want someone that's going to come in and get you buckets and help run things and be a high-level contributor. So I think it's a starting point guard, starting center. I think we'd probably go 1A, 1B, point guard, center.
All right, so people don't know the portal departures right now: Devin Royal, Tayson Chapman, Gabe Cupps, and Colin White. What do you believe has been the increase in the financial piece of this? Jake has hinted that it's better. And how much do you feel like it is better?
It's hard to put an exact qualifier on that, but it is better. And not only are they working with more money than they had to deal with last year, but they're working from a position of knowing exactly how much that they have to work with. I mean, as the season or the off season progressed last year, they were in a spot where they kind of thought they had maybe a certain amount of money, and then they were able to fundraise some more, and then they had a little bit extra, and then you'd fundraise some more, and it kind of came in fits and spurts along the way. And so, they're starting off from the get-go here in the portal from a position of knowing what they have, how much they can spend, and how far they can stretch it. And to that end as well, I don't expect this to be a team that, there were 13 guys on the roster last year that were all, getting, were what we would consider non-walk-ons, because obviously the naming of all that stuff has changed. But there were essentially 13 guys last year that were being paid to play at Ohio State, and I would expect that number to be smaller this year. So you're going to have more money to spend, and I would expect them to use it on a fewer number of players, so you have higher overall depth in your rotation.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because we were talking earlier, Adam, just about, Dusty May and Michigan and how they just really fast-tracked this thing, and obviously winning a national championship is what every program wants to accomplish, but it's the hit rate, too. And I know for a lot of Buckeye fans, that's going to be maybe where some of the angst is right now. And while, yes, they can hear you say they've got the money to do that, hit us with your thoughts on, their ability to identify the talent and develop it when they come through the portal.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be tested at the highest degree that it's been tested. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that will determine, what this season becomes and where this team goes, because they can't afford to miss in the portal. I mean, it's been a little interesting the last couple of years where, last year trying to recruit a backup guard to come in and play behind Bruce Thornton and John Mobley, that's probably as hard as anything in the transfer portal, because you're trying to, convince somebody to come in and you're going to play 8 to 12 minutes a game as a backup, and we don't really need you to do a whole lot, just kind of hold the fort. They've got clear opportunity that they can sell guys on right now. And so there should not be a shortage of, high level candidates that would be interested in Ohio State. And to your point earlier about the program needing to continue taking steps, the fact that they did make the tournament and there's a little bit of proof of progress, I think that stuff helps as well. So they just enter this offseason in a better spot, and now they have to take advantage of those opportunities and certainly get players who are going to be more high-level impact guys in the portal, and they can't afford to miss on those in the ways that maybe they've missed on some of the backup guys and stuff they've signed the last few years.
But on paper, you feel like they have the ability this time around to swing a little higher.
I do, yes. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair way to put it, because, like I said, they're not going to be paying. They're going to have more money than they had last year, and I think instead of spending that on 13 guys, they're maybe spending it on 11. And so that should theoretically open you up to more opportunities to attract higher level talent. Plus, you can promise clear paths to playing time. You go out there and you find that guard that you really want. You say, listen, John Mobley Jr., Amari Bynum, and Anthony Thompson are all likely NBA-type players, at least fringe NBA players. Hey, come run the ship with those guys. Let's really get this thing rolling, and you can be a critical part of that. That's really attractive for a sales pitch out there. So I do think, yes, they're in a much better spot to try to attract and hopefully land some of that talent that they haven't been able to get to this point.
Yeah, they're definitely looking at reallocating some stuff now and trying to piece it together again and build off the momentum that they got this year. Adam, great job, man. Season's in the books. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great one.
You too. Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch, on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. You start looking at replacing roughly half this roster, but they've got the big player coming in. They've got a couple of key pieces with Junie and Bynum, and they just feel like if they can hit this year and if they can swing bigger on paper, then you have a better chance of the success rate panning out.
No question they are. And I like what Adam was saying about you can sell these guys on opportunity with playing time. But I also think, too, when you have a guy like Thompson, who is supposed to be, like Adam said, in the minds of some, maybe a lottery pick, that gets a lot of eyeballs, obviously, on him, but the program, too. And if you're a player, you're looking at him and saying, man, I want to run with him as not only a teammate, but I want these scouts and everybody to see what I can do as well. So that's part of, I think, some of the attraction you can sell for your program, too.
We're coming back with Tell the Truth, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. April's the perfect time to reset your home for the long run, and Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. And there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus 24 months with no payments and no interest. And if you need some more, how about a $500 bonus off your home improvement project? Schedule your free estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 5-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Austin Ward here, fired up for warm weather, golf season, longer days, more time outside. Ride the momentum and finally drop the weight you keep saying you will. With Awaken 180, it's fast, easy, and we're all proof that it works. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. Tell the Truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC, take us home, my man.
All right, we can update the results from yesterday's poll mid-show.
We asked the people, are you rooting for Michigan to win the national championship tonight to put pressure on Ohio State to take a big step this offseason? So the question, were you rooting for Michigan to win the championship? The options were yes or no.
No had to be overwhelming. Because there's no real specific evidence. There's no science that would tell you that if this happens, this is going to happen. And there's no way any Buckeye fan was going to be actively rooting for Michigan.
No chance.
No matter what potential positive could maybe come out of it.
I'm going 90-10, though. And I may be low.
Yeah, I'm in that area, too. I'm
95.5?
That's right.
Okay.
Is that your final guess, 95.5?
That's right.
Well, he talked you into his own victory.
Oh.
I see what you did there.
Really? I really didn't try to fool my guy with any trickery there. I didn't even know we were competing. I thought we were just going in together. It's like a tag team right there.
Yeah, just a leading question. Hey, are you going with 95.5? Well, sure. Well, when it's 83-17,
you know what?
The 90-10 will win.
I had to get you guys back for what you guys did to me yesterday with Juan Soto.
What did we do to you yesterday?
You guys were just taking victory lap after victory lap, naming Achilles injuries, saying that you guys would rather have him stop and go all year than completely out.
That's true.
See?
I
Your
do wish
team
that.
needed to be slowed down a little bit. You were out of the gate pretty fast.
Oh, man.
I do wish that Juan Soto, who is currently suffering a 2 to 3 week injury, hops off of the 10-day IL and hops right back on because it's going to be the 3 weeks instead of the 2. And then afterwards, I hope he has a rehab stint in Syracuse.
Okay.
And so those home runs don't transfer, by the way. You don't get minor league.
minor league numbers.
You don't get minor league rehab.
That would have been a
stints.
nice loophole, man.
Yeah, you don't get those.
Okay, that's fair.
Those don't carry over to your major league total.
I can't push back on that.
So we're not counting those. But it was 83-17 were the results of the poll. 83% saying no, they were not rooting for Michigan, despite the hypothetical pressure it could put on the Buckeye basketball program.
All I'm hoping is that the 17% that said they were also the same 17% that potentially didn't want Ohio State making the NCAA tournament for the very same reason, that it would keep applying pressure.
By the way, on this topic, have we already talked about the do not contact tag that Devin Royal entered with?
Oh, because he knows where he's going?
Yeah.
And there's what, UConn buzz out
That is the
there?
estimation.
Interesting.
With apparently, according to Google AI overview, with reports predicting a move to UConn or potentially Villanova.
Okay.
But UConn is that's the scuttlebutt on the internet. So Devin Royal
Hurley sees
going
something
to the
he can
national
work
championship next year.
with. Be an interesting fit for him.
If he knows, he knows. And so you probably want to put the do not contact on. I'd be one of those that like, hey, I don't know what I don't know. Maybe you come to the table something better. Keep the lines open.
That just, again, and we all know this, the amount of tampering that goes on in sports is just pretty wild. I don't really get caught up in it too much as far as me feeling like it's the worst thing. But it just entered the portal. He's got the tag already, which means there was some business going on behind the scenes, probably for, I don't know, the last few weeks, I would think, with him and whoever is leading the charge outside of himself behind the scenes as far as where he wants to go, right? Because you got to make the connection with these coaches and all of that, and they're feeling interest in you and yada, yada, yada. Tampering's a real thing.
Yeah, well, listen, the truth is for these guys, they either know where they want to go or they know where they're already going. And those two things both equal a do not contact. Don't call me. I'll call you. I know I have my list. I'll make contact. You don't have to come find me.
I think some of it, too, is the program making contact with these players as well.
But the player is the one that's put the do not contact on.
No, I know, but I
wonder
think
if there's
to get
an
to that
NIL
point,
bonus. Like there's almost like a do not contact bonus. Like, hey, we'll give you, I'll just throw out random numbers that have nothing to do with anything. We'll give you $700,000 But if you go in, do not contact and don't entertain any other offers, we'll go $750.
I think that'd be smart business.
Perhaps.
I think it'd be smart.
Well, like I'm putting a deposit on the player.
Just say, take yourself
a
off
refundable deposit.
Take yourself off the waiver wire. Here's an extra $50,000 or $100,000 or whatever it may be.
So a kid tells a school.
It's like in Shark Tank when they say you have to take this offer expires in 5 seconds.
That's awesome.
And then they pull it.
Yeah, that's miserable, by the way.
When they go back to the other person, sometimes it's called just negotiating in good faith. And on Shark Tank, if they're waiting to get a better offer or they're talking to this person, but that's the whole idea of it, that they have that one time.
I could never get into that show. How many seasons of that did they cook up?
Oh, my gosh. Still going, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I could never get into
I'm going to guess 17.
They bring in new sharks. They're not all.
Cuban's not on there? Is he on there?
No, I'm sure he is, but
I
maybe
think he
not on
backed
every
off.
episode.
I think he backed off a little bit in recent years. But, I mean, he had like a decade-plus run.
Yeah.
But let me throw this at you, too, because I thought this was fun. Can lightning strike 24 times? Let's ask Wilson Contreras. So the now Red Sox first baseman who began his career with the Chicago Cubs and then transitioned to another NL Central team, the St. Louis Cardinals. When you're in the division with multiple teams, you play the Milwaukee Brewers a lot. And so now playing the Milwaukee Brewers as a Red Sox, he gets plunked for the 24th time by the Brewers in his career, and now 6th time specifically by Brandon Woodruff, and he has had enough.
It's not just a hit by pitch. That's the 24th time that they hit me in my career, 24th. And that's the 6th time they hit me. And they always say, I'm not trying to hit you. That get old. So next time they hit me again, I'm going to take one of them out. That's what happened. That's a message.
I have an important question at the presser for him.
That get old.
How is he going to take one of them out?
And who?
His brother?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
His brother's the catcher for the Brewers.
If you think the catcher is calling it up and in, turn around to your brother and say, knock it off.
All right, so this could be a coincidence. Not maybe the coincidence is the wrong word. This could be strategic, and not that they're trying to hit him, but they know that he's more susceptible to up and in like a lot of hitters are, but him more than most because they look at barrel percentage and whiff percentage and all the analytics that go into baseball now, expected batting average and all that. And so I think they're erring in an area that certainly if they miss their target by an inch or two, that they could hit him. I think that's it. I think he's more
24 times and 6 in a row by the same guy.
You've been hit by lightning six times. 66 times.
Back to the Future.
No.
I don't know. Willy Wonka.
Nope.
I don't know. TLC, this is your thing.
I don't think you're going to get this one. But it was from the 80s.
Well, there goes my guess. I was going to say Double Jeopardy.
I'm actually hoping, though, that they do hit him again today. Because I want to just see all hell break loose.
Yeah. And
that's what I want to see.
If you're going to talk tough, because now the pressure, not that, that's a Friday segment, but now the pressure's on Wilson Contreras because now you've said this.
I'm going to take one of them out.
If you get hit, if you're going to talk tough.
Back it up.
What was the exact quote, Matty?
He said, "I'm gonna if I get hit again, I'm going to take one of their guys or take somebody out."
Then he said, that's a message.
That's a message. And so we shall see. That's truth for today. Hey, before we go, you miss anything from our show, you can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do, we'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. Common Man is back, so do not move.
All right, we will talk to you tomorrow at high noon. We appreciate you listening. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan.